Greetings, faithful Dub Talk listener, Pon. After careful selection, I've determined that you meet the qualifications to become a magical girl, Pon. But before you make a decision, there are some terms regarding forming this contract, Pon. First, there are magical girls around with strong language and adult content that is not suitable at times, so discretion is highly advised, Pon. Be sure to watch out for Calamity Mary and Swim Swim. I don't trust those two, Pon. Next, there may be spoilers for Magical Girl Raising Project, any other Magical Girl show, and really any and all anime, Pon. You have been warned, so there's no excuse going into this, Pon. And most importantly, the views and opinions expressed are those of the individual candidates in tonight's episode, and as such, they do not reflect on the group as a whole, Pon. That being said, are you ready to form a contract and become a magical girl, Pon? It's beyond your wildest dreams, Pon. Are you ready to play a game, Pon? The Magical Girl Raising Project game.
Hello everyone and welcome to Dub Talk, the podcast where a group of magicians get together to discuss the latest in English dub anime. I'm the mascot Jamal, and with me today are my friends, Waifu Winter Prison Gigi.
Did you guys miss me?
The Peaky Angel Amon.
Hello friends.
And of course Calamity Andrew.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Let's ready to get some booze and shoot this fucker up!
Calamity.
As someone who has set foot in the state of Texas, I'm offended.
Same.
I've also stepped foot in the state of Texas, and I've offended myself.
So have I, man.
Look, all I'm going to say is it was recorded by a local Texan, so it works.
Yes, and in case you couldn't tell by the intro or the title of this video, tonight we'll be discussing the English dub of Magical Girl Raising Project, or Maho Shoujo Ikusei Keikaku if you're a weeb.
Nerd.
Which, if you've seen the show before, it didn't go according to Keikaku.
No,
it did not. Yes, it's the summer's 2018 SimulDub of the 2016 anime by Studio Leche. So you know someone's gonna die. I don't know about you, but with the holidays coming up, I'm ready to deck the halls with Cranberry's blood, but that's for a later date. For those who haven't watched the show, here's a quick synopsis for you. A social game called the Magical Girl Raising Project allows 1 in tens of thousands of people to be a magical girl, possessing extraordinary physical capabilities and looks, as well as special magical powers. But one day in the district containing 16 magical girls, the administration announces it must halve the number of magical girls to solve the problem of magical energy. At first, the 16 girls race to collect more magical candy than their competitors, but the rules quickly become twisted and it quickly becomes a murderous battle for survival among them. So, yeah.
So let's just get this out of the way right now. We mentioned there's a spoiler warning already. But
oh yes,
this is a show that is a Battle Royale death game. So if y'all don't want to be spoiled, there's the door.
How did I get on the King's Game episode twice?
I don't know, Gigi. You have a charmed life that way.
I don't know. I personally liked it better when it was called Danganronpa, but that's just me.
Ironically, that's my little nickname for it. Not because it's by Lerchi, but you know.
All I'm going to say is I will bring up the subject of Danganronpa again at some point, and we will get into why more. I have opinions on this show.
Yeah, don't we all? Now we'll be discussing our thoughts on the dub. As a side note, this is a full review, and as such, we have no predictions. As such, we always start with, of course, the ADR director and scriptwriter. The ADR director is one Jade Saxton, while the scriptwriter is Kristen McGuire. Now, you know these two is a tag team behind both Interviews with Monster Girls and High School DxD Hero. In Jade's case, she's also directed Konohana Kitan, the Token Ranbu franchise, and Zombieland Saga, which we just recently spoke about. In Kristen McGuire's case, she's also in for Dagashi Kashi, 6 episodes of Dance with Devils, and Tsukigakure. So, Gigi, would you like to start first?
Oh boy, you're throwing me right into the fire right away, I see. Fav. So here's my thing with Magical Girl Raising Project. If you want to talk about dark magical girl shows, this is pretty much my genre, along with everything with boys in it, but there's no boys. Well.
We'll get to it.
We'll hold off on that one. So my main thing that I want to mention before I even start talking about anything is that I had zero idea who played any of these roles, and I had to look them all up when it was over, except for one person, which obvious is obvious, and I'll tell you about her later. So I was very impressed by that, first of all, because usually, with my time here on Dub Talk, I have learned how to tell people apart, but this show I couldn't do it, so I was very impressed. So Jade Saxton, she is still showing how great she is corralling large ensemble casts like Token Ranbu. Oh my gosh. I don't know how she is able to get together such a large group of people and make them all sound good. There's so many different personalities that she had to cast in here. And then you have to double them because not only do you have to hear the magical girls talking, but you have to hear their human sides talking as well. So you don't only get one character, you get two. So 16 times 2, that's like 32 freaking characters. It's crazy. I thought the show and her direction of it was very dramatic and very dark, but it did have a couple of light moments in there that really helped to like soften the blow, literally. I thought the actresses were varied and she had great casting choices in here. And also I thought she did good accent work. And I'll talk more about the accent work when we get to the characters who have accents. As for the writing, I gotta be honest, I wasn't quite sure how such a dark storyline could be adapted while you're trying to keep the girls sounding age appropriate. And you have a lot of different ages of girls in here. You have like little elementary school kids all the way up to moms, all the way up to MILFs. So I really thought that Kristen did a great job with the dialogue. She pulled it off. She got the little kids sounding lines in there. She got the teenager sounding lines in there. She got the adult sounding lines in there. And I even had sympathy for the girls I didn't like due to their dialogue choices. Minus a couple, which should never have sympathy. They're horrible, horrible characters. And I thought that she also did a good job writing with the dialects. And when we get to them, like, she made them sound forced enough for what they were for. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's definitely not. It definitely helps the transition between humans and magical girls, but I want to talk more about accents when we get to the girls who have accents. But all in all, like, I was really impressed with this.
Andrew?
Hi there. So, Magical Girl Racing Project, director and writer. A couple thoughts. I think that this entire cast sounds really stand out and stellar. There's a couple variations in regards to people we've been talking about for a long time now, people we've been talking about only like 2 or so years, and some who've probably come up in like 1 or not even any episodes, all in this decent ensemble cast. And I'd say, as far as performances, everybody is really convincing and genuine. Not to mention the fact that, as Gigi mentioned, you get to flip-flop with some of these characters, because several of these actors sound different when they are humans and when they are magical girls. And it actually feels convincing and not particularly forced. It sounds like a genuine, like, easing into the two different voices that these characters have, and I very much enjoy it. They give a lot of, like, funny lines, sincere lines, dramatic, heartfelt, heartbreaking screams of agony and torture.
Oh, God.
Because that's what the show very much desires, is that, oh yeah, you like this character that we've made you really like and care about? Okay, here's a cliff with spikes, and those spikes are laced with poison, and there's a bomb that's gonna blow up when you land on those spikes. Boom! Anyways, your favorite character's dead. Here's the pieces of shit! Anyway, as for the script, I'm going very... I'm going less structured in my discussions tonight and a little more feelings tonight, in case you couldn't tell. I have feelings of this. Also, our scriptwriter, Kristen McGuire, probably like the biggest fan in regards to having this episode be a thing.
Yeah.
There you go, Kristen. Giving you a
Hi.
giving you a heart.
Hi, Kristen.
Straight up, the dialogue in this sounds pretty good. A lot of these characters have a lot of good lines in regards to how they're interacting with one another, and I really love the way certain characters react or say things. The script highlight for me is quite literally anything out of Top Speed's mouth.
Yep.
Anytime she said some sort of like dumb line variation of a rhyme, it makes me so happy. It's like, why so glum, chum? Where to, kangaroo? Cheer up, buttercup. And it's like, that's so goofy, but it's so endearing. And I really enjoy it. I think a lot of the character dialogue is very sincere and interesting. It's also very heartfelt and dramatic when it needs to be. But everybody sounds natural. Everybody sounds like they're saying things that fit the scenes, regardless of what the scene calls for. And it sounds really good. Jade and Kristen are a team I was a big fan of when they were working with interviews with Monster Girls. And it's good to see that they are doing stellar work in regards to the English dub of this show here.
Okay, Amon?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. This is a very well done dub. For all the reasons that Andrew and Gigi already said. I'd want to highlight the fact that as we've mentioned already and are going to get into more, this show's a rough watch. It's not fun, really. But I ended up watching this in like 3 mini marathons, basically, and I think the quality of the dub helped a lot with that. Like, it helped make the material engaging in a way that I think like a lesser dub or even listening to it in the Japanese would not have pulled off as well.
Yeah.
They would have, like, engrossed, despite how like objectively terrible some of what I was watching was. And I think that's a credit to like the direction and the writing and the acting that I was able to get into that zone. Even though if you show me the wiki for this and explain what happened, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to watch this show. This sounds kind of miserable. It's like that fucking Cormac McCarthy novel where they walk by their tree and there are just baby corpses hanging off it. It's like, this isn't fun for anybody.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Cormac McCarthy doesn't write fun books. But yeah, no, this is
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Anywho, no, I thought this was really I'm sorry. Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I thought, like, direction was very solid. I thought the writing was very good. It felt very true to these characters. I really enjoyed it, even if sometimes the characters themselves are pretty... Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so... With Jade, as I've said time and time again, she likes to direct shows with a lot of sincerity and a lot of spontaneity, and Magical Girl Racing Project is definitely no exception. Like, back when I thought this was going to be a shoo-in for Impression Season, I had her and Kristen's prediction, but things don't always plan out like you want it to. Hell, matter of fact, I told her when I met her at SuperCon this summer, I would try covering your show, whatever it may be, but I make no promises. And I'm living up to my promise on this. Speaking of which, Kristen, yeah, she's very vocal about this show. Like, her script writing is very adept.
It's very much something like she was a big fan of going into this, so if nothing else, I'm super happy she got the opportunity to work on this.
Yes, and we'll go more into that later on, spoiler alert. But yeah, like, Kristen's scriptwriter, she explained in an interview was that she adapts her scriptwriting depending on what the direction calls for. Like, if it's something like loose, she'll adapt it to make it fit, you know. Sometimes put in her own Kristenisms, if you will. But other times, she will always stay faithful to the story. Especially considering one line she put in, when she talks about magical girls are supposed to be pure, righteous champions of justice. I was like, you're a Sailor Moon fan, aren't you? And I found her work to be impressive, and I know she's very excited to see this episode come to light, and I'm very excited to work on it. So, kudos to you, Kristen. So, are we ready to move on? Alright. Now, normally here on Dub Talk, we tend to start with characters that either don't get a lot of exposure or we don't really care as much about, but you know, I mean, everybody in this show has some significance to them.
This is a big ensemble cast that's kind of waned in and out of importance at different times.
Yeah.
We sort of did this to the best of our ability.
Yeah, so pretty much our first pairing, we have Nemurine, whose power is to enter the dreams of other people, and we have Tama, pretty much a lonely dog girl who seems to be pushed over by everybody. Doesn't really get.
Oh, she is.
She's a.
Yeah.
Tama's such a good girl.
She's a good girl with a good head on her shoulders, you know.
Who hangs with the wrong fucking crowd?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's really sad.
Like,
I was so mad.
Okay, so
I was really pissed.
let's talk about this, because
Yeah.
these two characters are very fitting because they get fucked hard in regards to the way the show works. Tama, in regards to the fact that she didn't know when to get out while she still could, and Nemurine because... Okay, so let's go into a little something about this show. The Magical Girl Racing Project is effectively one giant gacha mobile game that is searching out candidates to turn them into their IRL magical girl selves. And it's a game to collect candies. And the way that the game works... Okay, I'll say this. The game balance is bullshit.
There's a very good reason. There's a very good reason for that, but we'll break that up towards the end.
It's so bullshit. And the first example of that is Nemurine as a character.
Yeah.
Because Nemurine does earn candies.
Yes.
But Nemurine's power is that she does things in people's dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And she earns candies in dreams, but those candies aren't real candies, so unless she does real magical girl stuff, which her outer body is incapable of doing, means she was already cannon fodder before she even knew it, and that's some bullshit.
Very.
Also, Tama's a good girl, but she gets a pretty savage kill on Cranberry.
Yes, she did. And getting right into it, the Marine is...
She's not even one of the lesbians in this show, and she knows how to take a top off.
Tapioca, Andrew.
The silence in that one was deafening.
You can't see my shoulders slumping in disappointment, but I want you to know that they did.
I was being subtle with a good head on her shoulders. You just went right for the kill.
So did she.
Oh.
Anyways, who plays them?
Yes, Nemurine is voiced by Amanda Lee, and Tama is voiced by our scriptwriter, Kristen McGuire. Amanda Lee, you've heard her in other roles as Akiho Shinomoto from Card Captor Sakura, the Clear Card Arc. She's Anzu in Hinamatsuri,
Best girl.
and Juko Kono from Zombieland Saga. Kristen McGuire, she's Hinano Kurahashi from Assassination Classroom, Karen Ayugase from Castletown Dandelion, and Dolu from Eldlife.
I was gonna say she was in New Game. I forgot that.
Yeah, she's Rin Toyama from New Game.
Yep.
Gigi, go ahead.
You know, you guys know, if you listen to other episodes of this podcast, how much I love Amanda Lee. Amelie. I love her so much. Couldn't friggin' recognize her in this role. Not at all. I was like rolling when I found out it was her. I thought that she made Nemorine a cute, sleepy girl. Gone too soon. She had that that lazy dreamer quality to her voice. Like she knew it was going up there. So I was very happy. Again, gone too soon. Amanda Lee should be in everything. I love her so much. And Kristen McGuire, girl, I gotta tell you, this is my favorite performance of yours ever. I was so impressed by Tama. Like, I loved this character. And I love the performance because she was so like sad and so like she just wanted to do something that would, you know, give her a little bit of recognition and to put her mark on the map. And like I felt that like she got all that kind of like angst and that fear going in there, but still Tama's such a good girl, so you felt like you wanted to root for her even though she was on the bad side. She was playing with the mean girls. I still wanted Tama to like win, and I was so sad when she didn't. But Kristen, seriously, I'm not joking with you, this is my favorite performance of yours. Like, so good job. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, Andrew?
All right, so starting off with Amanda Lee, this is a very sleepy, comfortable sounding character, and anytime they talk, it sounds very like dazed and dreamlike, and it sounds like a character where if you just touch them, it would basically just be a giant marshmallow of fluff. Like, that is what I imagine when I think of the character Nemorine, is that she's just very nice and fluffy. Anyways, but yeah, no, she just sounds very comfortable and cozy every time she talks. And then the one moment you do get to hear her IRL self before she gets, Death Noted. But she sounds distinct as both, which is very impressive to me. I like those sequences where she does actually get to do the cute dream world thing where she fights a giant kaiju. I think she does a straight up Ultraman or Gridman pose, which is great. And she actually interacts with the character that we would find out later is in fact Swim. More on her later. And yeah, she was a sweet, comfy, sleepy girl who did nothing wrong in her entire life and deserved so much better than the show. And Tama is a very, very good little doggo girl who's hung out with the worst possible crowd she probably could. Except maybe Ruler, but we'll get to that. I very much enjoyed Kristen's timid, little shy doggo magical girl who really couldn't get going in life. She was the painfully average one that got dunked on by everybody else except Granny. But yeah, things happen and drama happens, and then she becomes a magical girl. And she's super happy about it, and then she hangs out with the wrong crowd and is involved in I think like 4 different murders. Like, okay, she's not involved in any of the actual murdering save for Cranberry, but she's just trying to do her best. I like the way Kristen plays her. She's very shy, timid, but you can tell she's got a good heart and a good head on her shoulders. Oh, fuck. That one wasn't intentional. I want you to know that. I see you silently judging me when I say that.
Oh my god, I just got it.
I got it before I got it. I didn't mean to.
Tapioca. By the way, guys, if you ever hear me say tapioca to Andrew, that's our safe word.
That is, in fact, our safe word. Okay, basically, what she's... Should we even explain that?
No, we don't
No,
need to explain it.
that is
You
not
just need to
necessary.
understand that is the safe word.
It's not sexual, but it is our safe word.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, tapioca is our safe word. Anyways, I like Krista's performance of this good doggo girl, and from what she said, this was like very much, she always wanted to play a magical girl and a animal girl, so 2 for 1, Kristen, and I very much think you played the part of this character well. By the way, just because I'm going to bring up Danganronpa more, I promise there's a point to it, Tama would be one of the characters that would survive to the very end in a Danganronpa game.
I see that.
If that's the case, then what would Nemurine be then?
Oh, Nemurine was always going to be cannon fodder, let's be real here. Like,
yeah, Nemurine's like the first one to die because she seems like the easiest to get to.
No, Tama is like, she is the one who has worked with the bad influences or gets roped into somebody else's scheme, but is actually like innocent, and then is she would be the one that if she met Snow White, that she basically would have been friends with her. Like, actually. Like, she is as close to a ideal magical girl character as you could. She just got brought down by a crazy person. But, yeah. I feel like if she were in a Danganronpa game, she actually would be one of the 5 or 6 to survive at the end. Anyways, moving on.
Amon?
Sad. These two just make me sad. They don't. Amanda Lee's really good as Nemurine. I had not realized until I watched the show that I'd actually seen a clip of the bit where she like goes into the boy's dream and fights Godzilla. I remember at the time thinking like, this looks charming. I wonder what show this is from.
Was that clip on Twitter?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that might have been for me.
Yeah, okay. It was a nice bit, and it's like, and it was almost frustrating because it's like, all right, y'all are clearly capable of making a nice, sweet magical girl show.
Nah, not fam.
What could have been? No. Just pulling the wool over my eyes. Okay. But Amanda she was just so gentle and sleepy and adorable, and just it was like, this is so relaxing. It's so sweet and innocent. I want to wrap it in a nice. I want to wrap it in a little blanket and give it hot cocoa because it was such a good sweet girl. It was a very nice performance, and I wish she had been in a world where she would have lasted longer because she's nice, or preferably one where most of these characters don't die at all. Really, just very heartwarming. And Kristen, poor Tama. Who you know what's sad about Tama?
What?
She sticks with Ruler because after her grandma dies, Ruler is like the only person who does not look at her with immense disappointment, but is like, all right, here, give it to me. I'll rewrite it to you so it's a little easier to understand. Is that better? And it's like that one act of kindness is the only reason she's sticking around here, and that just breaks my heart.
Oh, I actually really like, the more the show goes on, I actually really like Ruler.
No, it was a very sweet moment, but I'm just so sad in the sense of like, this is why you kept hanging out with these people. It's just they weren't complete dicks to you, and it breaks my heart that Ruler is the nicest person in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for the nicest person, your wife is like a bitter like business lady that like, I don't know, man. But Kristen was really good as Tama. I thought she brought a lot of that same kind of vulnerability and innocence, and just Nama never got whiny and Tama never got annoying. I always just felt for Tama, who was clearly way in over her head but had too much loyalty to these people to break away. And then that is definitely not reciprocated in the end, which just makes her death all the more heartbreaking. Yeah, it's rough. A good performance on Kristen's part, though. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Okay. So yeah, Nemurine, we hardly knew ye, but Amanda convincingly sounds cute and sleep at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised if she was actually tired going into the booth. And as her real life counterpart, she does a very good job distincting between the two characters, Nemurine and her real life counterpart. Yeah, it's kind of sad as what she kind of bit first, but as she said in a video, because Jake posts these little videos of the characters after they die on Twitter, and Amanda said Nemurine would be okay with her death because she would sleep forever.
That's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard. Why would you tell me that?
Why would you tell me that?
It's not my fault, guys. I'm just taking notes.
Fuck you! But that's such a mood, though. Like, she was gonna go back on job hunting.
Yes, I know. You know. Yes, and speaking of life, Kristen's performance. Oh my god. Kristen does a very good job in this role, like, especially in Thomas sadder moments. I mean, I can't imagine what direction or what she had to channel to bring her moments. Especially when she's also the script writer, because for full context, like, the last couple of episodes she wrote, like, she started crying over this, you guys. It's like, it was very heartbreaking. She said herself that Tama feels like she had been betrayed in the end, and like, when something like that gets to you, that's how you know you've done a very good job convincing me of this character, you know? Mm-hmm. And kudos to Kristen. So, let's move on now to our next characters. Pretty much the wild crowd that Tyler's been hanging out with. We have
the Queen
Ruler.
of the Castle and Satan twins.
Yes, we have Ruler, the Peaky Angels, Midael, or Udael. Let me pull up my notes here.
Yeah, we're gonna need to remember which of the two. I think Midael.
Yeah,
I'm
I got
remembering
you.
the aesthetic. I think Minael has much more wild hair, and Uniel has more of a bull hair.
Okay, so
Minael's got the wing on the right side of her body, and Unael's got the wing on the left side of her body.
Oh, fuck,
Bingo.
I wasn't even paying attention to the wing. I was paying attention to the hair.
They're both evil demon children, and I hate them.
Yeah, I hate them too. They're awful.
yes, I hate them three. Can we get right into it? So with Ruler, she's in real life she's an office worker with a superiority complex. Her attitude keeps her from having friends, but as Ruler, she's empowered to command those before her to do anything she wants within a 5-meter radius, as long as she maintains her pose. Unfortunately, like, when she doles out sage advice to certain people, it ends up backfiring because she dies second. And the Peaky Angels, in real life, they're students, but as the magical girls, they have Midael has the ability to transform into anything but living creatures, and Unael has the ability to transform into any living creature.
Okay, so that's the distinction. So Uniel can turn into people, Minael can turn into objects.
Yes. Of course, the bigger distinction is the wings, but that's a different story. Anyway, getting right into it. Ruler is voiced by Emily Leaves. Midael is voiced by Alex Moore. And Unael is voiced by Kirsten Sutton. You've heard Emily Leaves in other roles such as Yu from Flip Flappers, Menine Uryu from Future Diary, and Kumin Suyuri from Love Tribute and Other Delusions.
And not to forget a certain little gremlin child.
Yes, Umaru Toba from Himoto Umaru-chan. Fuck that show.
I get you're not a fan, but it's worth bringing up for
Andrew, I saw one episode and I found nothing funny.
Fair enough.
Potato chip.
You've heard Alex Moore in other roles such as Agnese Sanctis from A Certain Magical Index, Roland from Maria the Virgin Witch, and Mitsuba Sagu from Seraph of the End. And Kristen Sutton, you've heard her in other roles such as Himeno Kimihara from A Centaur's Life, Angeline from A Certain Magical Index, and Ayumi from My First Girlfriend is a Gal. So, Gigi, why don't you kick off this discussion?
So Ruler is basically me. Let's be
God.
real.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say it.
But you were thinking it.
I was thinking it.
I was not.
Ruler is basically me. Like, if you mix Ruler with Calamity Mary's alcoholism, basically me. That's actually me. So, I lost what I was doing. Hold on.
Oh my god.
So, Ruler, okay. So, Emily, at first I hated the damn accent, and I thought it sounded really fake. Real fake. But Then the backstory kicked in, and I was like, oh, it's supposed to sound really fake. Then I fucking loved it. And I was like, oh my God, like, this girl is actually me. I understand her pain completely about working and, like, dealing with people who are, like, not great to her, and she needs to, like, climb that ladder. And then she can. She plays a game and she can. Like, that is, like, her biggest accomplishment there. So why wouldn't you adopt a British accent and treat people like your peons? Because I would totally do that. Everything just made sense here, especially with this performance. And I loved the choices that were made here. Because, I mean, I didn't watch the Japanese, but I'm pretty sure they didn't try to do a British accent in the Japanese. I liked this choice, and I liked that it sounded kind of fake. Like, it sounded very put on, which is what it should sound like, because Ruler in real life obviously doesn't have a British accent. So once I got the choice, I liked the choice. So once I understood it, I got it. As for the little angels, oh Jesus, just end them. I hated these characters so much. Oh God, did I hate them. I'm not talking about the performances, just the characters. I just put these together because I couldn't tell them apart. I haven't heard a lot from either of these actresses, really. But man, their performances actually, like, aided in me hating these characters, which I guess was the point here. They're such bad girls, and, like, they weren't bad girls when they started out. So I don't know why doing good deeds as a magical girl.
You know whose fault it was? It was that one fucker who confessed to them and is like, either of you would be fine. That fucked them up.
Yeah, that'd do it, wouldn't it?
If it is who I think it is, I've got a few choice words for them.
Like, it was that one guy who was just like, please go out for me, either one of you is fine, and then they both kick him down a hill, and that was the
Yeah, that
was the
moment
one
was
time I sympathized for them.
No. No. Not
good enough.
No. But the malice, I'm going to say the word malice a lot during this podcast. The malice they had in their voices, fucking, they owned it. So I was, like, super happy with that. Because you guys know I don't like the little girls with the high, shrilly voices. That's not my jam. Mm-hmm. But the malice here, it made me hate them even more. Like, I hate these characters. So good job, ladies. You played despicable children. And they're both dead now, so I'm fine. What?
It's just
don't make me talk in a British accent.
No need to be so posh, love.
Oh.
Okay, Andrew.
Okay, let's start with the Satan twins first. Alex Moore and Christy Sutton are very... Oh, that was a burp, I'm sorry. They are very similar sounding voices, which works well for the fact that these are very identical sounding twins. I think Christy's Uniel is a little bit higher than Minael. Uniel's a little higher up there in the range. Minael might sound a little more like in the nasal area. That's the closest I can think of a difference outside of the aesthetic stuff. But these are just diabolical children that just sound adorably vicious and mean, and oh my God, like, these are bad girls who man, they get it bad. Uniel gets it bad because she gets her head crushed in because she dares take on the form of Winter Prison's wife, which
it's what she get, bitch.
It's what you get. And
Yep.
Minael, she's a rock. And then she gets a hole, and then she's dead. It's like, ooh, wow, okay. But I think there's something in the performance where they sound very, like, cutesy, unassuming, but they are very, like, nasal, like, nasty, diabolical gremlin children. And the performances from both really sell it, and they are nasty. Holy crap. They're not Honestly, they are nowhere near close to my most hated character, but they are diabolical.
Nope.
As for Ruler, this is probably one of the most standout performances to me in this dub. Emily Neves is a delight every time I hear her talk with that posh sense of authority, that fake Britishness, that she is ruling and commanding over her peons. It's so delightful. Every time she talks, it's so fun when she's like being diabolical, when she's planning with her minions, or when she's trying to actually like bum around with the other magical girls, when she's hanging out with Top Speed. That's a lot of fun. There's one thing that I realized what her voice, her British voice, sounds like to me, and I'm going to probably ruin this character for you now. Ruler sounds like Rarity from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
You fucking brony.
Okay.
I'm not even, though! But
This is the second time you've mentioned My Little Pony in a Dub Talk episode.
I used to watch it, so the memories are still there. I don't know anything past season 3. I didn't give a fuck. I don't care. But I did watch the show at one point, so I'm using that information for tonight's episode, is that she sounds just like fucking Rarity, and it's something I can't get over. And don't fucking call me a brony, by the way. Fuck off. Please don't.
Brony.
Okay, Amon.
No, wait, I wasn't done. I wasn't done. I needed to yell about the fact that I'm not a fucking brony, but I needed to say that the voice Ruler Emily Neves uses sounds so much to me like the character Rarity, and it's just the same kind of character too, in this sort of fake, like, royal decree in her voice, and just the over dramatization of the character. But I actually really found myself enjoying Ruler a lot more as the show went on, because I kind of realized she was like, she was trying to make ends meet. The world was sort of shitting on her, and she was trying to survive it. But also the fact that she did have some sort of care in her, and that while she did pull the harsh, you peons need to follow me thing, it's like she does seem to show human emotion and some form of caring for a bunch of like stray dogs that find her way around her. But
See, Ruler is basically me.
Ruler is a character I did not expect to like, but grew on me a lot more, and Emily Neves' performance is a lot of fun, delightfully hammy, and I very much enjoyed it. And yes, she sounds like Rarity to me. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, Amon.
I'm gonna take a minute to brag because my girlfriend just bought me a plate of hot chocolate chip cookies, and they're delicious.
Oh my god. Can she be my girlfriend too?
I know, you want to move to Massachusetts?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Aside from that, these were all really good performances that I enjoyed a lot. Sorry, I'm trying not to chew with my mouth open. I'm gonna start with the Devil Twins first because they're terrible. Their performances are not, though. Alex and Kristen were both really good. This is one of these performances where I don't think I realized it was two separate actresses for a while. I just kind of assumed, like, oh, these sound like sisters. It's probably the same person, but no. But I'm with Gigi. Like, I kind of hated them more because the performances were so good. They were such good, like, snotty. Like, they reminded me of, like, my sister was one of those girls who, like, in middle school had friends who she kind of hated, and I never really understood why she was friends with them. And this kind of reminded me of that. It's like, why do you hang out with these people? They're awful. And they don't treat you well. Why? And I think Alex and Kristen really brought that out in the performances. I thought, like, I didn't like them. They were terrible. I felt a little sad when, which one bites it first?
Uniel.
Yeah, I felt a little sad for Uniel when Uniel died, because, like...
She seemed like the less vicious of the two.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
Uniel straight up, like, she sees, like, them trying to help people on the bridge, and Snow White has that little tirade about, magical girls putting things aside to help other people, and she just throws a fucking axe at Alice, like, fucking bitch she is.
Yeah, and I also like Manami because she got my favorite character killed, but we'll get to that later. But they were both really good. Emily, however, see this is part of the reason why I grew to like part of the reason I grew to like Ruler rather than Mina. They just seem like assholes. I at least understand why Ruler's kind of mean to people. Like she's bitter and angry, and this is the only place where feels she has any power and agency. But she still has enough patience to be, want to help Tama along, which I find very sweet in the long run. And I agree, like, Emily really, she brings that out. She's got, she's very haughty and fake British for so much of it, yelling about peons, but you get where she's coming from, and when you see those flashbacks, when you see her being in the real world and what her history is like, and when you see her, like, toning it down a little bit because, she's kind of dropping the act to kind of just be a person for a little bit. And it's nicely well-rounded, especially for a character who, like, gets a lot of her, like, big character development kind of after she's dead, like, in flashbacks and so on. I thought it was a really well-done performance in that regard. I was really impressed all around. I don't know, like, I kind of hated her, and then I stopped hating her after a while, because it's just like, hey, you're kind of nice. Why'd you have to die?
Right. Right.
Poor woman. She just wanted to not feel like shit for a little bit. Like, is that so wrong? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Yeah, no. These were all very strong performances. I thought, especially Emily. I'm shocked this is the same woman who does Umaru-chan. That kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
absurd.
How her range is terrifying.
She's got some versatility to her too.
This is like that time that I found out that the fuck's his name? This time I found out Steve Bloom voiced the Red Digimon in Digimon Tamers, which I didn't know for a long time, and I'm like, that's Spike.
Oh yeah, that's
Jesus
right.
Christ.
Steve Bloom's crazy too.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, these strong performances all around. Thumbs up.
Alright, so I'm gonna start with the Peaky Angels first because with both of them, and it's funny I bring up a certain magical index because the performance, the voice they use is similar to the voice they used in that show, and with Udayo, it was very neat, it was very fitting to the character. Yeah, it kind of sucks she better, I mean, even Kristen believes, because she said in the video, Kristen believes that her death wasn't deserved, but it was less heartbreaking than other characters.
Wait, which character?
Udayo.
Okay.
Midayo, on the other hand, the thing about it is, I'm not the biggest Alex Morth fan. Like, there's been some performances I've heard where it's either it or it's kind of, I don't like it. Like, I still have a hard time liking Those With Me from A Centaur's Life, but
I very much enjoyed that character.
I'm glad you do. But when I heard her in a certain magical index, I thought to myself, this sounds amazing. And it's pretty much the same vibe she's giving off here. That's why I bring them both up and they're both kind of like dressed in holistic clothing or something like that. But yeah, it's very neat because normally a lot of times when she's speaking, it does that kind of a little bit nasally, like it kind of breaks up her speech pattern a bit. This one actually kind of sounds smooth, like it has a natural flow to it. And Alex would ask her about, cause she bites it later on, like you said, Andrew. But we'll get to that with another character. Alex, she said that Midayo got what was coming to her, and she also believes that if the two would actually go into the afterlife, they could cheat their way through the pearly gates. And now we get to the star of this trio here, Ruler. Emily displays a very convincing British accent, and she makes Ruler come off as kind of a Marie Antoinette type of character. And she easily keeps the distinction between Ruler and her real-life personality separate. So I thought she did a very good job on that front, and she said that Ruler got a little bit of what was coming to her, though her methods were awful. The message she was giving off was clear that she was sticking it to the man, so you were right in that sense, Amon. So, Amon?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, I'm eating cookies, so. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Amon's living his best life right now.
Yeah, I wish I had cookies. Oh wait, I could just go
Right?
downstairs and get them.
He's living that sweet life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Anyway, we good to move on?
God fucking damn it! I just realized what the name of this group is, and I fucking hate you.
Well, that was very obvious from the start. So.
I mean, he's not wrong. For you listeners at home, the next group has been titled Uranus and Neptune in the Google Doc we're going off of. So,
yeah,
Sailor Moon fans will understand this reference.
We understand it very much.
You're not wrong, but
I'm gonna cry.
so
what they're talking about is Weiss Winter Prison and Sister Nana. Weiss Winter Prison is able to rise above Nana's expectations and accept her for who she is. As Weiss, her ability is to produce walls out of thin air. Unfortunately, she kind of meets her end getting into a battle with Swims group. But not without bashing Unael's head in. Wow. And Sister Nana is a bit of a philanthropist, as her power is the ability to draw out the potential of her beloved's power, essentially maxing out Weiss Winter Prison's ability. And I didn't realize... Yeah, I ain't learned about it till, like, after episode 4 that she's a bit of an idiot. She's very gullible.
I have words.
Yes. So, getting right into it, Weiss Winter Prison is voiced by Morgan Berry, and Sister Nana is voiced by Tia Ballard. Morgan Berry, you've heard in other roles as Chuta Kokonose from Eldlife, 13 from My Hero Academia, and Tokaku Azuma from Riddle Story and Devil. Tia Ballard, you've heard in other roles such as Sanae Kashimura from Alice in Soroku, Yu Koito from Bloom Into You, which the recording is out by now, I think, and the Nami Momosano from Kami-sama Kiss. So, before Andrew gets his song out of the way, Gigi, would you like to go first?
First of all, Weiss Winter Prison is my wife. All you haters, back off. She is my wife.
Honestly, knowing you, Gigi, I'm not surprised.
Nobody is fucking surprised that she is my wife, so I will leave her for last because I have much to say.
I'm just imagining an image, like that picture frame of the class alumni with the two of them. Gigi just tapes her face over like Sister Nana.
I would. I'd be like, that's my wife. Thank you.
That's my wife stretching me during gym.
Thank you. Next. All right. So Tia Ballard as Sister Nana. I was very confused by this character because I really thought that she was like going to be evil in the end because you can never trust nuns. As somebody who went to Catholic school for 6 years, you can never trust nuns, no matter how nice they would be. And then I was very surprised to find out that she wasn't evil. Like, I felt she had like an evil tone to her voice, and that was kind of misleading. But it was just a little evil. She wasn't evil. She was just kind of misguided, I guess.
She thinks the best of everyone, even when that expectation is not warranted.
She doesn't. You can't trust people like that. You can't trust people like that. I don't know. So that was like the only little part of criticism I had, was that I just kept waiting for the evil to drop because I felt that it would be evil because I could just hear it, and then it wasn't. So I was like, okay, well, she really is a good girl. She's just very misguided in a lot of her choices. But let's talk about my wife now. Weiss Winter Prison. This was the only voice that I could pick out of this. And then I was really confused because Morgan Berry moved to LA. So I was like, how? And then I remembered that Source Connect was a thing. But I was like, they got her all the way from LA to play her most perfect role yet. Because if you guys don't know, like, the Erica did a lovely job. But in my heart of hearts, Morgan Berry should have played Sailor Uranus in the new Sailor Moon. And I told her this to her face, and she was very excited by it. I love her so much.
Okay.
So this is as close as I'm ever going to get to have Morgan Berry playing my wife, Sailor Uranus from Sailor Moon. Because she's basically like a straight up hot lesbian. And I was like, yes. And like in real life, like in the real life of this character, she was like a straight up hot lesbian. And I was like, yes. I was like, you are really my wife now. This is great. I loved this performance so much. I was so excited to hear Morgan Berry play Sailor Uranus, almost. Sailor Uranus with even more death. This was just my dream role for her. Revenge must be had against all who wronged her and all who killed her. And let me tell you, I fucking cried. I was so mad. I was screaming at my television. I was like, why? Why is it always my wife who has to die somewhere in the middle? But yeah, I love this a lot. Obviously, this was like my favorite, so I'm done. I'm done now. Thank you for letting me have my what I put in the chat was, this is a show where, what did I say? Like, Gigi gains her bisexuality and then all of her wives die, so she goes back to normal.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works, but okay. Just admit, yo, you want to bang that.
It's a fictional character, but I love her. I'm done. You can all talk amongst yourselves now. But just remember that she is my wife, and if you wrong my wife, I will wrong you.
Anyways, so yeah. Sister Nana and Weiss Winter Prison are 10 out of 10 adorable lesbian couple that did no wrong and deserved way better. Okay, let's start off with Weiss Winter Prison. Weiss is stoic, cool, badass scarf motherfucker, and she can kick an ass or two, and she can control the earth, and that's some good stuff. Which probably also means she's really good with her fingers, so Nana's in for a good time thanks to that. Anyways,
Oh, God.
Tapioca!
Look! She fingers the earth, so that's how it works, I think.
That is a mental image that you got, what, Andrew?
Dude, Kama makes holes. Why did you do this to me? Why did you just write your own fucking dojin?
Yo, she just summons like a giant like stone pillar, and then she just
Stop.
Andrew, this show is hard enough as it is. Why you gotta make it worse?
Dude, I'm almost about to cry. Please not.
She can make her own sex toys. I'm done. I needed to bring in some levity. I needed to bring in some humor into my system before I have what I feel is actually an interesting discussion I want to bring.
Andrew, if it snows between now and New Year's, I'm throwing you in a snowbank.
I will be in his neck of the woods by then. He has the right to do that, and I will accept it. Weiss Winter Prison. I really love Morgan Berry's very, like, stoic, cool, like... She sounds very stoic and cool. I'm going to repeat those. But she pulls off the look very well, and she sounds like somebody who would be a very cool, like, silent but sweet and deadly ninja type person, and that's basically the entire aesthetic of Weiss Winter Prison, and I think she pulls it off perfectly. I very much enjoy all of her interactions with Sister Nana, aka Tia Ballard. Tia Ballard sounds adorable and is very trusting and sweet and caring. And I'm also feel like this show went out of its way, literally out of its way, to basically make Sister Nana look foolish and stupid.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this for a second. I feel like Sister Nana is all of those characters who speak about hope, working together, and, like, even in the face of challenge, despair, and adversity, we can come together and we can make this work. And that was Sister Nana's, like, biggest, we can work this out and we can come together, and I believe in everybody. Now, this is a characteristic that happens in other death game scenarios, but they always have some sort of perseverance, trial, losing friends, and overcoming it, and learning something, but working together, and believing in people in the face of adversity. Now, what this show does, and what this show does with Sister Nana, is basically, hey, believing in others is fucking stupid. Look how much of a goddamn idiot this character is for believing in others. How much she tries to believe in others, how she goes to people. They always want to kill her. They end up killing her lover. All those times where she could be helping people, oh no, she's giving money to other people. Look how stupid this fucking airheaded piece of shit looks. Look at her. She's sad and drunk and she kills herself on her fucking girlfriend's scarf. That's what happens when you believe in each other, because this is fatalistic and dark and edgy and hope is dead. That's what I feel like when I look at how the show treated Sister Nana. Because Sister Nana genuinely is a good-hearted person. And anytime she tries to give goodwill and benefit of the doubt, it feels like the show really goes out of its way to shit on her ideology to the very end. And it actually kind of bothered me a lot on my second watch. It actually really bothered me the way the show handled her character. And it's such a grim image that, like, she loses her lover and she just fucking drowns in alcohol and pills before hanging herself on her scarf, which is just... It feels like the show very much revels in going just the extra step to try and make itself look like a big boy drama. And I feel that's the extra step where it's not necessary. Now you're just being cruel. And that's something I felt with the way how the show handled Sister Nana. And it actually really bugged me when I watched this for the second time. I should probably mention, this is my second time going through the show again. So I'm not even, like, surprised about the fates of the characters. This time, I'm now actually going through it. And it just felt like this show purposely made a character who was sweet and kind look like an idiotic fool who died a worthless death. Wow, that was a... Wow, okay. I was brewing on that one. Okay, now that I've had a second to compose myself, that being said, I love Tia Ballard and Morgan Berry's performances for these two characters. I think they're really, really good, and I really do enjoy these characters a lot, which is kind of why it bugs me the way they turn out. I'm very sorry about that. I got a lot more intense than I was expecting to.
It's understandable. It's understandable. It's very understandable, believe me. You alright, Amon?
Yeah, no, I thought these are very good performances, and to the point where they almost made it hurt, given how these characters end up. Tia was just so sweet and so caring, and thinks the best of everyone all the time. And Morgan, I thought, just amplified this sort of, very laconic cool about her character all the time. Like, Weiss always comes off as just the most badass person in the room whenever she's in. And I thought Morgan did such a wonderful job of capturing that. And they're such a loving couple together, which makes their eventual fate all that much more heartbreaking, because you care about this relationship in some way. And then, actually, Andrew, I think you did not talk about what I thought was the, cruelest aspect of how that ends, which is that Sister Nana gets to spend that last, day or two thinking about how, the person I care most about in the world only entered this gang because I encouraged her. So her death is all my fault. And it's for me, that's the worst part of it, is she just gets to soak in that misery that this is my doing.
I think
if I just stayed out of it, none of this would have happened.
I think the thing that makes this worse to me than a King's Game is because King's Game, almost everybody's stupid.
No, the problem here is that Magical Girl Rising Project is written well enough that when shitty things happen to people, it kind of pisses you off. King's Game is just dumb. So you can just ignore it.
I think that's what it is, yeah, is that there's good character writing and there's decent enough drama that I actually am invested in these people. So when it feels like these deaths are actually, not even part of their arc, they're just mean and cruel, and it just bothers me.
Yeah, that's what I end up I find. There is stuff in this show I do like and would praise, but the thing that ultimately puts it off for me is it's not just that it's bleak or edgy, it's mean.
That,
It like goes out of its way to be cruel, and I find that really off-putting.
I should say that more for final thoughts, but
Yeah. But yeah, no, these were both like just wonderful performances, and it further highlights the way in which I want like an alternate version of this show where no one dies.
I would
And
like
it's just-
that too.
It's like in a regular magical girl show, Sister Nana would be the living saint that all the other magical girls to aspire to. We wish we could be as nice as Sister Nana, who is just so loving and caring. But she's stuck in this universe where that doesn't matter.
and I mean,
I
she
would
can
like-
still be cute and aloof and a bit of a ditz, but like, at least she's not an idiot in that universe.
I would like the cute lesbian relationship OVA, please, for
God
1,000.
fucking same.
But yeah, no, these are really good performances.
And if I could make one more joke before we move on.
I swear to God, if it is what I think it is, I'm gonna come punch you next A-Fest we meet.
Oh, I was just gonna say Sister Nana probably tops. Also, she's a nun, so she probably screams, "Oh God," quite a lot.
At least we know she's not getting none, she's getting some.
That was not what I was thinking, but you know what? That's pretty good too. All right,
I hate everything right now.
love you.
I'm sorry, Gigi. Anyway, so yeah, with Morgan, she really exercises her rage, because to me, it looks like Weiss is kinda androgynous, but like, this is where the Uranus part comes in, because she's playing two distinct personalities. Well, it's pretty much the same personality. Who the hell am I fooling? But out of all the magical girl characters, her design changes the least. But she manages to keep a composed attitude while making her vocal presence strong. And because after all that, the epic fight scene where she bit it, she said that she acknowledged that Weiss was ready to die, and she knew she wasn't going to go down without a fight. Especially when fighting for her beloved, played by Tia, which to me seemed like a straightforward performance with a bit of naivete and gullibility added to the mix. Yeah, I do agree with you, Andrew, with how piss poor this was kind of written, because I do believe in that as a character, but man, the way they played her off. Because for side context, I read both volumes of the manga and volume 1 of the light novel for this, and I never do that for any show I'm on. That's how invested I am in this. And the scenario is pretty much the same, it's kind of a little bit reversed, because they're both trying to get each other to this into Magical Girl Raising Project to become a real magical girl, so you know they can still be together forever in a sense. And
My heart.
yeah, and after not Sister Nana lost her beloved, she was actually part of the episode that kind of completely broke me down. Like episode 9 it was very painful. Like I actually started crying during the ending song. So, but other than that, Tia did a very good job. And I even told her when we were at A-Fest that she was kind of like Sister Nana in person before I got further into Sister Nana as a character. So,
Oh no,
yeah,
she's a sweetheart.
oh, definitely, you know. So, good to move on?
Weiss went to prison, and Sister Nana were a beautiful lesbian, adult lesbian couple. This was not like it was just a fling thing. They are living together, they have an apartment, they are hugging and doing that shit, and they were a thing, and they deserve so much better.
It's a good thing you mentioned doing adult characters, because something we need to bring up if you haven't seen the show before already. A lot of these characters are kind of mixes from various age ranges. Because I know some people are kind of apprehensive about watching this show for certain reasons. I mean, we got children in this show all the way up to adults.
Yeah, everybody's getting killed. Like, don't worry.
Don't worry, everyone dies, friend.
Especially the children.
What about the children?
We thought about the children, so we thought it was only fair that they get stabbed horribly too. Moving on.
Yes, let's move on. Let me pull up my notes here. Yes, let's move on to little little pair I like to call. Actually, I don't have a name for them. I just didn't know how to group these two together. Other than they kind of work together, we have Magicaloid 44, and we have Calamity Mary. Now, Magicaloid 44, in real life, she's a freelancer fresh out of middle school, the realist. As Magicaloid 44, her ability is to use one convenient tool from the future day. However, she doesn't know what tool she gets. She's also a grifter, scamming people for cash, mostly from Sister Nana, in exchange for tasks, and is given the trustworthy task by Calamity Mary to kill a magical girl. To which Calamity Mary, in real life, she's essentially a mother of the year material. She's an alcoholic mother who relieves stress through abuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking to myself, you know what? Of the three quote-unquote villains of the show, I think I like Calamity Mary the best, because it's like she's just a dumb cowboy RPer, and that's cool, and then they go to her past, I'm like, oh, I forgot about that.
It's always the one you least expect, Andrew. As Calamity Mary, her ability is to enhance any weapon she wields, and of course she's dressed like a gunslinger to the nines. A bit skeevy, but yeah.
Also, the magic satchel thing she gets, does she get to choose what gun she gets, or is that just
No. What the magic satchel is that it holds an infinite number of items, no matter how big or how small it is.
How do you keep getting guns then? It's like
Her power is to make her guns powerful.
What it is, and this is from the light novel, what it is she's pretty much been stealing guns from the black market. Like, if you see,
that makes a lot more. Okay, I get
like, you see one of the episodes, she kind of threatens one of the Yakuza.
Yeah, it's the Yakuza. She's
Yeah, so pretty much she steals a lot of weapons for use. Getting right into it, Magicaloid 44 is voiced by Steph Garrett, and Calamity Mary is voiced by Michaela Kratz. Steph Garrett, you've heard her in other roles such as Yaya from Ari and the Scarlet Ammo AA, Kyoko Naraku from A Centaur's Life, and Evil Eye from Overlords 2 and 3. Michaela Kratz is no stranger to this show. You've heard her in other roles such as Erina Shindo, aka Tail Yellow from Gonna Be a Twin Tail, Clementine from Overlord, and of course from Gigi's favorite show, she's Shinya Bodba from Riddle Story of Devil.
Yay.
Yes. Again, right, and since I brought up your favorite show, why don't you kick things off again?
Alright, so I don't really have a lot to say about Stephanie Garrett as Magicaloid 44, mainly because for most of it her voice is like masked behind a filter, and so that's all I really kind of paid attention to was the filter. And I know it's hard to act behind a filter, but she's also like, what, a robot or an alien? Something to that effect.
She's a robot from the year 3000 or something. I think that's her backstory.
She's just a yeah. That's the backstory they give her.
Yeah, I really don't have a lot to say about her. Honestly, all I wrote down was I don't have a lot to say about it. It was fine. It was a robot. The filter does a lot of the work, so that's what happens when you have robot characters who aren't I from Udapri. Look, I got another Udapri episode in an episode that has nothing to do about Udapri.
Shocking.
I'm so proud of myself. Mm-hmm. Good job. Good job, me. As for Calamity Mary and Michaela Krantz, yeah, I first saw this character and I was like, ooh, girl, why you me? I was like, that's pretty much what I would do. I'd be sitting around drinking Jack Daniels, shooting guns. And then we got to her backstory, and I was like, ooh, you're not me. So this is another one with the accent. But I really do have to give Michaela's performance credit, because there are so many layers that she has to hide behind that accent. Like, I'm not going to say that the character's choices were right or wrong, but you have to remember that this is still a human being. And so I'm pretty sure that, you know, there's still human feelings behind whatever she did. I mean, like, there's so many things you have to think about with a character like this. And then you put on this act where you're like a rootin' tootin' cowgirl from the magical girl, whatever, collecting all my candies and shooting all my guns. Yeehaw! And it's just like, oh, okay, so you're putting on this act because your home life sucks. Like, you feel so bad about your life that you, like, hurt your poor kid and your husband left you and your life is just a hot ass mess. So you drink a lot of Jack Daniels and then you pretend you're a magical girl. Like, girl, I get it. You act like a slut. It's fine. So, like, I felt that this performance had to be hiding the humanity under that accent. And I really felt that she did a good job with it. I felt that this performance was a lot like Emily Neves's for Ruler. But Calamity Mary was clearly more crazy and more malicious. But I think that she also was drunk all the time. And if you're not drunk, that's like hard to act through. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, I feel like pure like sympathy for this character. Like, she just has so much going on. And then she like bites it in a really like non-committal way, and I was kind of sad about it. But what are you gonna do, fam? What are you gonna do?
Okay, Andrew?
All right. I'll start off with Megaloid 44. This is an... Wait, what, did I get the name wrong, or...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what is the character's name? I forgot.
Magicaloid.
Magicaloid, okay.
Oh, like classical Lloyd?
God damn it, Itchy.
He's a good boy. Leave him alone.
Itchy is a good boy. You leave him alone.
He showed me Miami Goods. What the fuck was that shit?
He's still a good boy. Leave him alone.
He showed me Vampire Vixen. That was a good time.
He showed everybody that was Vampire Vixen.
Anyways, Magicaloid 44. Stephanie Garrett is a person I don't get to talk about that much, but she has this very unique cadence to her that I think even with the filter still comes across pretty well, actually. I think she does a very convincing job. She basically sounds like this kind of... She tries to be, like, stoic, but, like, because that's sort of her character deal, but she's actually kind of, like, a bit of a wild child who, like, runs away from home and is, like, living with her coworkers just because she's trying to deal with stuff. I don't even know what her home life must be. And yeah, she's a bit of a wild child. She kind of like scams one of the magical girls. She's working with Calamity Mary, who's sort of like the one person nobody else wants to fuck with. And she's just like, hey, yo, you're a bad bitch. I like that. Let's hang out.
I just realized that Calamity Mary's like her mom. And she's trying to make up for what a shitty mom she is in real life. With her little robot daughter.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that. But I can totally see that. But yeah.
Now I like her more.
But yeah, Stephanie Garrett, I actually also like, she gets to be mostly stoic, but she does let her personality come across pretty well. And I like every time she's pulling out random items, because she pulls out one random item every day. She pulls out a bunch of random bullshit every day, like, da-da-da-da, the bug gender identifier. Da-da-da-da, the pen that writes manga in a day. Da-da-da-da. And I thought that was a cute bit, and I could very much hear she was having fun with that. So yeah, Stephanie does a pretty interesting job with Magicaloid, and I thought it was enjoyable. Also, she gets one of those deaths that reminds me, oh yeah, blood pools are bullshit. Because it's like, man, you get stabbed in the heart, there should not be that much blood coming out of you right now. As for Calamity Mary. Hoo boy, Calamity Mary. Michaela Krantz is a very, very interesting actress. Where a lot of the times, I can't usually tell what she's thinking, or not, okay, I can't tell what she's thinking, I've never met her. What I'm trying to say is, I can't tell what her natural cadence is, or what her natural tone of voice actually is. And it's something I've never truly figured out, But I'll say this. Watching a little bit of Chio's School Road helped a little bit for going into this. Because I realized, as far as Michaela Krantz, Calamity Mary is Chio basically doing cowboy roleplay while she's playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
What the
Think about it. Think about it. She's a game brain. She plays all that Western shit. She doesn't play the JRPGs. No, she goes for the Western stuff. She goes for the Assassin's Creed. She'd probably be a Rockstar girl. I could see her being a Red Dead Redemption fan and hardcore role-playing the shit out of that. And that's basically who Calamity Mary is. Now, as for her, like, her voice is basically just hardcore Texan cowboy, eccentric cartoon character. And it's kind of a blast to hear, and she basically walks around with the aura of drunk bad bitch, which is a lot of fun, until you get into her backstory. You're like, ooh, you are actually bad. Ooh, that's ooh. And then you see when she's trying to pick a fight with Ripple because she dissed her that one time, she's like, man, I like picking on the weak, so I'm going to just snipe the shit out of people and blow up cars. I'm like, oh, this is getting a bit messy. And she gets a pretty good fight with Ripple and Top Speed until she eventually gets shurikened in the fucking skull. But yeah, I think Michaela is having she sounds like she's having the time of her life when she's playing Calamity Mary, and it is wild and crazy, but it's so much fun, and it was very entertaining. I was very pleasantly surprised with this performance, and it was a ton of wacky, wild, very violent fun.
How about your thoughts?
I let's start with Steph, because my thoughts on her will be a little shorter. I did like her a lot. She was kind of an interesting character. She's one of the characters who, unfortunately, you kind of really find out what her deal is right before she kicks it, which is a little unfortunate. But I did like her performance. I thought she seemed very, like, cagey, not quite like aloof, but like kind of cagey and withdrawn for most of her appearance, which I thought seemed kind of interesting. Like, what's her deal? I thought Steph kind of did a good job of presenting that kind of, like, you know, she's holding her cards against her chest. She's not being super open about herself. And then you get, like, that bit in the real world where she's like, she, like, buys food for homeless people and actually seems like a pretty solid person. And I don't know, there was a nice, like, sort of like an empatheticness to that performance that I appreciated. It felt like the same character, but a side that was very radically different from what we'd seen in the previous episodes. So I like the performance a lot. But that's not what we're here to talk about in this segment for me.
I hear that.
Michaela Krantz is my favorite performance in this show, bar none. She is delightful. Yay. I love this so goddamn much. She is having so much. I'm sorry for banging on the table. I'm just like,
no, it's all good. It's all good.
She is having so much fun with this performance. Just playing this, like, just this boozy hotshot gunslinger in a bikini, beating up mobsters, hassling people. Just so, she's having so much fun in this role. It was so infectious. I feel like I actually feel like a good part of the reason a good chunk of the show was so watchable for me was just her performance alone. She is just magic whenever she's on screen. I really like this performance. But to her credit, like, when we get to the parts where we're learning about her backstory, which is, like, really depressing, like, she was able to, like, turn that into something good on that end too. Like, I did feel for her as just, like, someone who's just a mess and really angry about it, but clearly does not really feel like she even has the internal agency to fix her own problems. Like, it was you know, it was very hyperbolic for a lot of the show, but it was also just really well done overall. Like, I was very happy for this. Like, if like in a less crowded year, this probably would have gotten my, like, W for best performance in a drama by far. It was really good, I thought. Just absolutely stunning, pitch perfect. Although, poor Magicaloid. Woof. That's a way to go out. I'm fine, right? Nope. Sorry, kid.
That thing is, last minute I came up with a joke for that, but I'm not gonna use it.
And, like, at least Calamity Mary gets to go out in a really badass way. Magicaloid just gets jumped.
To be fair, Magicaloid also jumped herself.
No, it's like it's not quite like it is. It's a little bit of a self-inflicted thing, but it's just like, that's rough, lady.
Mm-hmm.
You were trying to get ahead of the game, and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Thank you, Amon.
Magical Girl Racing Project. Feed the homeless once, dead.
This show's just full of bad morals, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no.
Anyway, so yeah, Magicaloid 44. I mean, yeah, she's not in the show that much. I mean, Steph makes her sound robotic and apathetic without sounding boring. Except in episode 5, when she just demonstrates her acceptability and true nature without sounding over the top, because, she's trying to scam Nana for money. But yeah, like, she manages to make her sound kind of obedient and apathetic, pretty much. To which, when she has to take an order from Calamity Mary, like, she more or less showed no mercy to hardcore Alice. To which, yeah, that was her biggest regret. Magicaloid, not Alice. Now, Calamity Mary, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, man. Because going into this, I mean, I thought it was going to sound like Kara Bells from Cardcaptor Sakura. Like, I thought that's what I was going to hear when I heard she was going to do a Western accent. I was amazed by it. It almost sounded like voice acted Black Magic to me, because, like, I knew it was Michaela, but it did not sound like Michaela to me. And I like how she differentiates between her and her real-life counterpart, because it's Michaela being drunk. Not literally, but it sounded like Michaela being drunk, and I thought she handled both aspects very well, especially with transforming. And I know, let me put my notes here, because I don't really have much for Michaela, because, she believed Calamity Mary deserved it in the end. Shrink it to the head, that's it. But Steph said she thought her death was kind of epic, although it would have been nice if she was around a little bit longer, because you don't know much about her, like, what is she really about. But hey, that's the way this game goes, You got some characters you care about, you got some characters you don't. Pretty much all of them are gonna die, pretty much. So, you ready to move on now?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then. Oh, joy!
Oh, okay, we're talking about... This isn't even the worst group yet. Okay.
Oh, these are to me, these fuckers.
Okay.
So, yeah, so pretty much, essentially, spoiler, we kind of have the brains behind this death game. The masterminds, if you will. We have Fav, and we have Cranberry now.
I'd like to call Fav by his actual name, Diet Kuma.
He's more what's his face?
He's Cube.
Yeah, he's Diet Cube.
He's Diet Cube Kuma.
I call him a Cube Monokuma High, but really I want to call him a, but I'm pretty sure that word's not allowed on Tumblr.
Can we just agree on Diet Cube Kuma?
Yes.
Sure.
Pawn?
So real quick, I'm going to tell you how this came to be, and this leads to the character's backstory. So Fav was an administrator for the Magical Kingdom, who oversaw the exam that, believe it or not, a little 9-year-old Cranberry was involved in, where another magical girl summoned a monster for battle. Monster went out of control and killed everybody. Killed the instructor, killed everybody.
TLDR,
even Fav's master.
That first minute of the show where it's just like there's that one monster and a bunch of bodies, that was Cranberry.
Yep. The little 9-year-old Cranberry, who after that battle developed a huge bloodlust.
She almost goes for the, man, I want to fight strong opponents thing. And then she decides, let's just kill him.
Yeah, it got out of control to the point that they concocted this whole death game. So if you were watching the early episodes, you've been fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so getting right into these two motherfuckers.
Wow.
It's pretty obvious we don't like them. You have no idea how much.
I feel like their deaths weren't satisfying enough.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, what is it? I feel like Cranberry would like a nice badass death. The fact that she kind of also goes out like a chump feels very appropriate.
Okay, that one I'll give you
Like
that.
the meek dog lady makes her chest explode. That's not a dignified way to die.
You know what? Okay, I'll give that. But Fobs, I wanted to hear more groveling. I
want to see Fob getting grilled by his bosses when they find out what he did.
I want that to be like groveling or like the explosion of his.
Thank you for mentioning that, Amon, because a little side note, this is not the way the magical girl selection is supposed to go down. That's why Fob's been concocting all those little news stories. Because if the magical kingdom ever really found out, they'd be in a whole shitload of trouble.
Oh.
Yes.
Can't get in trouble if you're already dead.
But there's gonna be a season 2.
Is
Wait,
there?
really?
No, what?
No, there's
Oh, yeah.
not.
No.
Well, actually, that's the thing. This light novel series,
it-
there's like 5 of these now.
Okay.
There's 5 of them. The new one's coming out in March. I was
The
going to
light
save that for the
novel
plug, but
has more material.
yes.
There is nothing confirmed for any future season of this.
I swear to God, they said there was gonna be a season 2.
There's no proof of that right now.
Damn it,
Well, there's no proof of you.
I was going to save this for the plug, but ladies and gentlemen, this is based off of Volume 1 of the manga. Of the light novel.
This is
Alright,
one
back on
volume?
track. Yes.
This is one volume?
1 volume and about 9 chapters.
What the fuck more is there to say? I don't even care about the overarching universe. You killed off all the characters I like. Why the fuck would I keep reading?
Dude,
Why did you play 18 Danganronpa games? Sit the fuck down,
All right,
Tapioca.
Guys,
Andrew,
guys.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back on track, please.
Fair
Can we
enough.
do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. Playing these two. Fav is played by Madeline Morris, while Cranberry, the musician of the forest, is played by Anastasia Munoz. You've heard Madeline Morris in other roles such as Noriko Yamada from Alice in Soroku, Eru Chitanda from Hyoka, and Hotaru Hoshikawa from New Game Season 2. Anastasia Munoz, you've heard her in other roles such as Shizuku Ichijo from Alice in Soroku, Minerva from Fairy Tail, and my personal favorite, Dr. Kiyama from A Certain Scientific Railgun. So, have we all calmed down?
Yes.
Okay then, Gigi.
Why? First of all, I thought Fob's name was Fob, like a key fob, like through this entire anime. So I was like, why can't they just shut her off, like the lock or the alarm?
Well, technically they did at the end, but
I mean, technically. So, Madeline Morris in this channeled her inner Cube. Girl, why? Why you do this? My nightmares hurt so bad. If you guys haven't seen Madoka Magica and you haven't heard the dub for Madoka Magica, Cube is like so robotic, not like in a bad way, but in just like this way that the performance shows absolutely no emotion and has like this cutesy ass voice. So that's why I was like, holy shit, it's Cube, and now I will not be able to sleep at night. I felt again, like with Sister Nana, that there was always some sort of inner menace in the tone of voice here, but I was right in this one, obviously, because it's fucking Cube. The only part that I felt the performance was kind of off was at the very end where Fa was about to get killed. And, like, it just didn't really sound scared. Like, it just sounded weird and awkward. Like, I don't really know how to put it other than it was just super awkward for me. And I didn't really think that they were going to end up killing it. Like, it was just going to, like, go into pixels in the ether or something and then come back in season 2. So I was just like, that was the only part that kind of I didn't really understand, or I didn't really get the performance in that way. Now, Cranberry Girl, if Winter Prison weren't my wife, Cranberry would probably be my wife. But she's not even my number 2 wife. I just really liked like that character design, and I was like, ooh, she's a cute little elf. I really like her. And Anastasia Munoz, damn girl, she played her like so sexy, and she played her with like this level of quiet crazy that like felt very menacing but didn't sound very menacing, which was very cool. Like it just, Cranberry like exudes coolness. I mean, she girl cray, but like you don't feel like you do when you're watching King's Game and everybody goes off their fucking rocker, or when you're watching Higurashi and everybody goes Higurashi crazy. I think it completely worked here, so I was super happy with it. But again, I'm sad at the way she bit it. Like I thought she could have used a cooler death because she was such a cool character. But yeah, they're bad girls, but whatever.
Okay, so Fav, aka Diet Cubecuma, is... First off, Madeline Morris is spectacular as this character. Like, there is so much goofiness, and like, there is such hyper energy to this character, as well as the little pom. So it's like, hey, I want you to kill your friends. You're all going to die. If you try to quit, your lives are over. Pump, here's some weapons. You're going to pay with your lives. Pump. By the way, another thing I want to mention, just because I thought of it. I think looking back on this now, the show is trying to tell you that gacha games are evil.
Don't judge how I live my life.
No. Like, I'm not judging anybody. I think this show is literally saying gacha games are evil. Y'all are addicted to phones. It's like to the point.
This isn't a gacha game though. It's like an
Is
RPG.
It's a phone game. And look, all I'm going to say is they add new items and they say it's a free-to-play game. And when they say it's a free-to-play game, that means there's paid items. And there's literally paid items where you pay in your lifespan. Which, if that isn't heavy-handed, I don't know what is. Anyways, I love Madeline Morris as this little shitlord of a character. And Anastasia... Is it Anastasia? Anastasia? One of those two. Miss Munoz is really compelling as this very evil witch of the forest who took out one of the best characters who did no wrong, so fuck her anyway. She gets her top blown off, and she did deserve a cool death. But I think she sounds really cool, collected, and diabolical. It actually reminds me a lot of the way she plays Coco from Jormungand, which is kind of a similar master planner role. But I think she does a very solid job. I think this character has a cool design and is a cool fighter, but they took out one of the best characters, so therefore, rip in peace, you bitch.
Wait a minute, who did she kill?
La Pucelle!
I forgot she existed.
Really?
I mean, she gets off so quickly. She wasn't one of my wives, so...
She was one of mine.
I'm sorry. I couldn't remember.
Anyway, you done, Andrew? Or?
Oh, yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Pawn.
Thank you, Gigi.
You're the best, Gigi. I hope you know that.
Thank you.
It's my turn now. Yeah, these are both very well done performances. Something we point out, Fav is interesting in that he's kind of the most obvious way that this is like this is very clearly like a post Madoka dark magical girl series. Like I suspect this wouldn't have existed if Madoka had not been such a big hit. And Fav kind of feels like the most obvious version of that, and that he's also this sort of weird amoral cosmic entity that looks cute but really does not have your best interests at heart in the least bit. He just wants to see some blood. But Madeline is also... I also agree Madeline's very good at playing him. I don't know. Whatever Fav's gender is. It's a blob. Who cares?
Well, the light novel uses he. So.
Alright, he then. Alright.
I think I heard the anime did too. It's just...
No, that sounds right, but it's like, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, she does a very good job of making him sound cute and innocent on the surface, but I think even if you don't know where the show's going to go, in those early episodes, I think you can kind of get a little bit of a hint of menace too. And there's just something a little bit off about how Fa phrases things. And after a while, like, you know, ending everything in Pawn just stops being cute and just kind of seems like
Creepy.
yeah, it's unsettling. It's like you know, it's like something that's trying to resemble something cute and human, but not quite getting it right. But they don't know that, so they keep doing it anyways. You know, I thought it was just like a really good performance. Also, it helped that like it did not prevent, like, all the cutesiness did not prevent me from just detesting Fav in general. It's just being like, you fucking asshole. None of this would have been necessary without you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope your boss sends you to hell, like literal magical world hell. Also, I should point out, since we don't actually know what the magical world looks like, I keep imagining like Keebler elves. That's who's running this. Elves of some sort. The Keebler elves just seem the funniest version of that, so that's what I keep imagining.
Oh my god, think of the cookies.
We're not too far from that. So.
Yeah, exactly. And Anastasia was also really good as Cranberry. Like I agree a lot. She has this wonderful sense of gravitas about her. She always seems very calm and collected and in charge. You never up until maybe like the very, very end, you never get the sense that like Cranberry ever thinks she's going to lose or this is going to go badly. She just has the utmost confidence that this will all go smoothly in the end. And I think Anastasia just nails that just so wonderfully. Like, to the point where like I was actually surprised when she died. Like, surely this is the big bad. Surely this is who the final fight's going to be against.
I really did think she was the big bad. Like, I was not expecting the final boss fight to go the way that it did.
Yeah, like I'll give the show credit. That was an actual surprise twist for me. I really did not see that coming. Yeah, like just a really well done performance on the whole. Like, I liked it a lot. Oddly enough, I never hated Cranberry as much as I hated Fob. I don't know why. It's just because Cranberry's a person and Fob is like this like nasty cosmic entity. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Do you want to form a contract?
No.
Okay. Pom. I hear nothing.
It's very quiet.
Into the void.
Be very quiet. We're hunting Fobs. I'm gonna shoot one and mount it and put it on my wall.
You could put a key fob in it, so that way, like, the eyes would light up.
I'm doing this. So yeah, I'm gonna start with Cranberry first, cause Anastasia shows a plenty apathy and maturity as her up until the moment her true nature, bloodlust, is exposed. Like, this is not the first time I've ever seen her play characters that are kind of evil. I mean, Railgirl was my first exposure to her. She was delightfully evil in that show as well, so it's nothing new. It's just, but the intensity that she plays evil, that's different. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Not only that, like, she even tries to come off as a bit of a temptress to it, especially when she's talking to Sister Nana and Weiss. Like, just telling them, like, they need to butt out because you're going to ruin the game. To which, Madeline Morris, this is her first creature role, actually. And she manages to play this Cube Monokuma hybrid with gleeful conviction, I might add. While she reduces the annoyingness of that verbal tick in the Japanese, because you know in the Japanese they say Paul in every sentence. She says it here every other sentence, so I commend the right direction for that. But yeah, Madeline was very good at playing this little okay, I'm gonna censor that.
Wow.
But Madeline was very good in this role. Because Father is a huge mastermind. He's the reason everything's going down the way it's going down. Because, side note, that whole gacha game aspect is just a ruse. And I'm glad he got... Even if that wasn't as justifiable, at least he got what he deserved in the end. To be erased from existence. And on that note, y'all ready to move on?
I'm ready to talk about the fucking best characters in this goddamn motherfucking show. You bet your ass I am.
We're talking about Winter Prison again?
Close.
She's got you there, friend.
Okay, so we have pretty much our counterparts to essentially the two main protagonists, if you will. I'll explain more. We have La Pucelle, and we have Top Speed.
AKA, literally can do no wrong, have done no wrong, deserved fucking better, and they're great. And god damn it, they actually made me really sad with their deaths.
I can't talk about like a misty eye debate, man. Like,
there are conversations to have about these characters.
Yes, but we gotta talk about the characters first.
Mm-hmm.
La Pucelle is in disguise. She's actually Sota Kishibe, Koyuki's childhood friend and a boy, who shares the same love that Koyuki has for magical girls, and ends up later becoming one as the result of the gacha game. Her power is to change the size of her sword at will, and she vows that no matter the cost, she will protect Snow White. Top Speed is a former delinquent who's loud and cares for others. In this role, her power is to use a magic broom, Rapid Swallow, to fly at top speed. And there's a revelation to be had with her, which we'll bring up with the actors.
The revelation being the origins behind the name Rapid Swallow.
Oh my god.
You could go fuck yourself, Andrew.
Tappy fucking Oka.
Okay, look. I'm sorry. I love Top Speed and I love everything about her and she's such a good person. But the name Rapid Swallow is the goofiest, most inappropriate innuendo thing. Rapid Swallow.
When I said
never
revelation,
would have thought about that until you just said it, you fucking perv.
You made it dirty.
Way to go.
I was gonna
It's called Rapid Swallow. What the fuck are you supposed to do with that?
Jesus Christ!
It's a
I thought
bird, you asshole.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh my god, you didn't know a swallow was a bird?
Oh, I knew a
God.
swallow was a bird. I thought you meant like rapid swallow was like a type of swallow. I was like, okay. Let's do.
I'm going home.
I was gonna say there's a revelation behind why she keeps saying 6 months, but we'll get into that with the actors. La Pucelle is voiced by Caitlyn Barr, and Top Speed is voiced by Lindsay Seidel. Caitlyn Barr, you've heard her in other roles such as Maya Asagaya from Anime Gatteries, Damanante Code from Black Clover, and Melda Dietz from Star Blazers 2199. Lindsay Seidel, you've heard her in other roles such as Nagisa from Assassination Classroom, Kyoko from Is This a Zombie, and Akane Shinjo from SSSS Gridman. So, take it away, Gigi.
Okay, let's talk about my girl Caitlyn first, who plays La Pucelle. Damn, girl. Damn. This is very hard to pull off because first, she had to sound like a little boy. And we're like, okay, you know, girls play little boys all the time, it's fine. But then she had to sound like a little boy who had grown up and turned into a woman, which you could totally play about 15 different ways. But I think the way that she did it was very on point. She just basically sounded like a more masculine female voice. So like lower. So it was, I loved this. I was completely surprised by this performance, like completely. And I loved all the dramatic moments that La Pucelle had. So I was super, super pleased. And then we can talk about Top Speed, who is my second wife. Ooh, girl. When they off this one, that was about when I was done with this anime. I was like, why am I even still watching this? They killed both my wives, and I don't care about anyone else. But here's the deal with Lindsay's performance. At first, I was kind of annoyed by it. Like, Top Speed has this like really annoying tone to her. Like she's the girl who you like want to be friends with, but like she's so annoying that you kind of want to just like wring her neck to get her to shut up for a little while. But it only took about one episode for me to like get it, and I was like, okay, no, this girl is cool and she's funny and she's super cute. So she is now wife number 2. I think the dialogue choices really helped with the character here, which, you know, proves to the good writing, like what you guys were saying earlier about like the rhyming stuff. Like it made her sound more cute and made me like really kind of understand her. And you know, she had to be cheerful because she had to live. Top Speed had to live for those 6 months because she wasn't just living for herself. She was living for somebody else. And that was part of her charm, which I kind of called like before they actually said it, and I was like, oh shit, she's pregnant. I was like, 6 months, she's got a bun in the oven. And like I felt so bad like when she died, and like at that point I was just like, you really killed the pregnant girl. Like really, first you killed my first wife and then you killed the pregnant girl. But like once I understood how Top Speed was, I really liked Lindsay's performance a lot more than when I started off. So it kind of grew on me. And I think that's how Top Speed would grow on you. And it's how Top Speed grew on Ripple too. So it all worked out in the end until she died. And then, well, we weren't happy.
Okay, so let's start with La Pucelle. La Pucelle is a couple of things. La Pucelle is basically just Saber from the Fate franchise with bigger boobs and a dinosaur tail and some very fine mascara. And I actually think, here's the thing, look. This character was too good, and I accepted that at some point this character was going to die. I got that. I understand that both of these characters are too good, and eventually, because they're too good, they don't belong in a show like this. But there's something really compelling about the character arc that is a young kid who is effectively like made fun of for his love of like magical girl stuff, actually like without any like jealousy, without any malice. He just gets the chance to be that dream, and he gets to do that. Like, it's just really interesting to see the way they handle that. It's actually kind of a lot of tact, and it's very endearing. Like, regardless of whether the character prefers to be Sota or whether the character prefers to be La Pucelle, so to speak, it's a very endearing character. And I adore Caitlyn Barr's performance. It sounds very knightly, full of bravado and whimsy, but also like a little arrogant kid in the flashback who's just like, hey, I had to go to town over because people were gonna look at me weird. And just, it's a very endearing character, and I love the tone she gives to the character. And La Pucelle is such a cool badass that is a pure cinnamon roll, too good for this world. And I really was a big fan of Caitlyn Barr's performance, but even more so of what I'm convinced is actually my favorite performance of the show, which is one, Lindsay Seidel as Top Speed. So, I made a couple of vocal comparisons tonight. I have one more, because Lindsay Seidel is another actress who, the more I hear of her, the more I get very impressed with her dynamic range. And I was trying to figure out what her voice reminded me of. Her voice, as Top Speed, sounds like Aaron Fitzgerald's take on Chie Satonaka from Persona 4. And ever since I got that image in my mind, I cannot unhear Chie every time Top Speed talks. And it's kind of perfect, because Top Speed is also kind of this cute, dorky tomboy character who's really into like a lot of like basically Chie's into kung fu movies and meat, And while Top Speed, like, herself is, like, a little more feminine because she basically became a supportive stay-at-home wife, mother-to-be, she used to be, like, a badass, like, biker girl in a gang. And the second, like, she's ramming in to Calamity Mary, the fucking witch's cloak has the goddamn kanji for bug off like she's a biker girl, and it was so cool, and I fucking hate that! This show killed her! Woo! Okay. Take it down a notch, take it down a notch. I'm sorry, folks. I may or may not have gotten sent off again. I adore Lindsay Seidel's take on this character is that she fills her with so much energetic life and this goofy aura and this good-natured mentor that really is a good mentor for I can't say the name, Ripple. Interestingly enough, Pucelle and Top Speed are basically both the mentor senpai figures of our main dutagonists, and I'm really endeared to this character, and I feel like her death was already a sad enough, like, this sucks kind of moment, that I feel like the show basically making her a pregnant woman to be murdered and stabbed in the stomach, by the way. She was stabbed in the stomach to really just shove that fucking nail into you for extra effect. It's just, at some point it goes from drama to being unnecessarily cruel in this universe. And it just felt like an extra dagger that wasn't needed, even though, with all due respect, as far as narrative conventions go, both of these had death flags, like, raised as hard as they could. But they are very good, actually pretty well written, enjoyable characters to the show. And it's sort of the same thing we were talking about earlier with Sister Nana, is like, the show it is well written enough that I really do feel endeared and enamored to these characters, that when you see the way they do go out, it feels unnecessarily, like, mean and cruel. But Caitlyn Barr and Lindsay Seidel, they're fantastic. I really like them a lot. And goddammit, the fucking cloak that Ripple wears when she wears her fucking Bancho witch cloak is actually a really cool thing. And I really would have liked that in another show. Moving on. I'm done. I had my cease. I really like these characters. They deserve so much better than this.
Yes, they do.
You gonna be okay, Andrew?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Do you need a hug?
Maybe, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get some more water because I'm going to need it for the next section.
Hydrate thyself, son. Keep don't be thirsty.
All right, please continue. I will be back in a moment.
All right. So on that note, these are both very wonderful performances, I thought. Caitlyn was just very nice. Like, it was so much fun watching her interact with Snow White, and you just got this real. You could just tell there was, like, this deep friendship there, especially just in the sense of, like, old friends who used to be very close and then drifted apart and now coming back together, and just, like, it was so sweet and nice. And she always came off as, like, very cool, but in a very, like, unshowy way. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my friend Snow White and we're gonna do good deeds. It's gonna be great. Isn't this wonderful? It was just, like, really, like, sweet and oddly touching. And, you know, consequently, it kind of hurts when she finally dies. However, her death is at least early enough in the show that you can still kind of find it sort of fun in, like, a grimy pulp, grindhouse battle royale kind of way. I can't really say that for Top Speed. I think, if memory serves, I think Top Speed and Sister Nana die in either the same episode or, like, one after another.
Yeah, they do.
Oh god, I think it is the same episode.
Yeah, and I think that's more or less the point where all the death and murder just stops being fun. It just gets, like, upsetting.
Yeah.
It's just painful. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, it's kind of the point where I think it kind of just turns to, like, I don't even want to say edgy. It's just like the shock value kind of gets too high. It's unclean almost. Which it made worse by the fact that Lindsay plays top speed really, really well. She's so cute and charming, and you like her so much, and she's so loving and supportive. Even in the little scene you get with her husband, which is just like, oh no, he forgot his lunch. I should go get him. I'm gonna use my witch powers to go bring my husband his lunch. Shows up and he's like, how'd you get here so fast? And it's just like, this is so cute and sweet. Why are you doing this to me? Why can't you be a garbage show like King's Game and I can just not care?
Yeah, that's the thing that hurts, is that this show is... Okay, this is gonna sound like a weird complaint. This show is good enough that it sucks that I care as I do.
No, that's the infuriating thing about this is you could make a version of the show with basically the same crew working on it, and just like you have some contrivance, like the characters don't die, like they actually just lose their magical powers and they're still kicking around there. Like comparable or better quality, bare minimum. Like that's what's so infuriating about it. There's talent here. It's not just garbage, and that almost makes it worse. Someone cared, and it hurts so much. And a case in point with these two, like these are both wonderful performances, and I greatly enjoyed them. And I wish Pucelle got to stick around a lot longer, and I wish neither of them had to die, because it just hurts. It's not fun anymore. Oh.
You done, Amon?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be sad for a little bit. You go on ahead.
Oh, do you need
You
a
want
hug?
to go?
No, I'm gonna be I need a hug for the next one.
Don't.
Are you gonna cry in the corner right now?
No, I'm just gonna sort of wistfully stare into the middle distance and reminisce about things that didn't happen.
Oh my. Only for a moment, and the moment's gone.
God damn it, Andrew.
Dust in the wind.
Fuck
All
you,
we
man.
are is dust in the wind.
Oh, being serenaded by Kansas, the night can't get me worse.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Andrew.
Am I actually making you cry? Oh no!
This is suddenly taking a dark turn on the Dub Talk podcast.
Things are getting bleak, folks.
So is this just so are we now just gonna make an AMV of just Ripple and top speed set to dust in the wind now? Somebody make
No.
I kinda
If
want,
I ever see anybody doing that, I'm coming to kick your ass.
I kinda want that now.
Anyway, so yeah. Pour one out for these two. Where did I start? Because the thing is, I mean, like you said, they were both very good performances. I mean, Caitlyn is Pucelle. I mean, she had to play not one, but two characters. Granted, they both have a tail between their legs, but two different characters
Oh.
I'm sorry, man. You kind of dragged me down. I had to get myself back up somehow.
Okay, you know what? If I'm going to lighten up the mood a little bit, there's something I just remembered because you brought it up. I would like to mention how fucking Freudian it is that Pucelle's power is to change the size of their sword at will.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that, but I tried to avoid it so much. But
Stop making dick jokes.
The show made it for me! I think I need to turn down the intensity, but I can't because of what's coming next. I'm sorry.
Anyway, back on track. Yeah, she had to play two very distinct characters with two very distinct voices. Like, to me, she made Sota very believable as a young boy through a combination of both a strong performance and well-balanced mixing. Whereas when she transforms into Pucelle, she uses her standard voice. And Pucelle is a very good character. Like, this is, to me, like one of the standout performances because I really admired this character very much. And Caitlyn Ballard alone is the reason why I admire this character so very much. Because, like you explained, Andrew, like, he was pretty much being taunted for his love of magical girls, and that, you know, he still had the strong desire in his heart that when he actually became one, he was kind of surprised. I mean, deep down, I think Pucelle is kind of, I guess kind of me in the sense, like, you have a strong desire to do something, when it actually happens, it's like, it's unbelievable, you know? And Top Speed, oh god. I mean, yeah, it started out kind of weird because, you know, the dialogue Lindsay had to give, but Lindsay manages to make the character sound very mature, very convincing, and then when it gets on to the later episode, she really comes into her own. When she had to meet her Ed. Okay, so here's what happened. When I saw those two was about to give a high five, and then I see you switch to the hug, I was like, that's cute. And then I see the blood come out of her back, I'm like, oh shit. What the fuck is this? Like, I couldn't believe what was happening on screen, man. And all throughout that, like, even like in the flashbacks, she just manages to keep a smile on, even though it's very disheartening what just happened to her. And I really have to give Lindsay props for that. I have to give both of them props for this, because, you know, this is the teary-eyed section of the group.
See, in a better, fairer show, she would have got out the old biker girl accent and decked Swim in her fucking face.
Yeah, like, I mean, here's the thing, like, I didn't expect it with Top Speed. I knew La Pucelle was gonna die. I just thought she would die, like, later, like, in a heroic way, like, you know, just
they go out of their way to make them cruel, diabolic, and two-faced, and it sucks.
And I feel kind of insensitive because when I saw episode 4 when we were at A-Fest, I said to Caitlyn that she killed it in her performance, not knowing what was going to happen 2 weeks later.
Oh, I would have laughed if I was there with you because I knew.
I think I don't know if she did, but I would think she'd been crying because she probably just recorded episode 6 that time. But as all things in life happen, we need to move on.
So, we go from the two best characters in the show to one of the best characters in the show and the actual fucking worst.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what he means is Swim and Hardcore Alice.
See if you can figure out which is which. You probably know.
Yeah, white lies for dark times, Andrew. Hold on, let me pull up my notes here. Okay, so Swim, her ability is to dive into anything like water. In real life, she's a little child who admires princesses and has quick learning skills. She's more or less kind of like, I guess she essentially follows Ruler as an example.
I'm trying to save all of this for my section. If you want to save me for last when it comes to this one, you can. I have things.
Yes, I understand. And she meets Omega at the end of the episode by Ripple's hand. Hardcore Alice. Oh, good lord. Hardcore Alice, this girl did nothing wrong. She
killed the person, but don't we all?
Well,
don't we all?
She had to kill a person, Andrew. She had to. She didn't want to, she had to.
Andrew, that person cut her head off.
You're not fair, but even then, it's just like, okay, fuck it.
Alright. In real life, she lives with Ed Love Stuffed Buddy. Pretty much, she's living with Ed because in real life, her father killed her mother, and pretty much doesn't want her around anymore. As a result, she's more or less being shunned by her classmates, which leads her into this gacha game where she becomes Hardcore Alice. Which, as a result, her power is she can quickly recover from any injury that occurs.
You want to talk game-breaking bullshit? Let's talk about Hardcore Alice.
Remember, I said this is a rule, so you know if I could have had anything up his sleeve.
Even then, it's just like, your power is immortality. Like, how do you compete?
Yeah, it's immortality unless you're caught off guard, which, by the way, I learned it's an unspoken rule that once a magical girl learns your identity, your powers are pretty much irrelevant.
Even then, it's...
And as a result, Swim murders Hardcore Alice. And I'd say in broad daylight, but it was raining. So, getting right into it. Swim. Oh, why her? Swim is voiced by Britt April. And Hardcore Alice is voiced by Macy Ann Johnson. Britt April, it's no stranger to Dub Talk. You've heard her in other roles such as Musajime in the Certain Magical Index, Hiyori in Noragami Aragoto, and Yurif in the Selective franchise. Macy Ann Johnson is pretty much new to Funimation. You've heard her in other roles such as Rei Matsumoto from Konohana Kitan.
I love her Konohana Kitan.
Yes. Maru-san in Gridman and Pirino in Tenshura, and I can tell you that show she didn't make it either.
Wait, who is she in Gridman?
Maru-san. She's one of Rika's other friends.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that. She's cool.
Okay. Do you or Gigi want to flip a coin for it? Or?
No. I'm gonna go for last. Gigi, floor is yours.
I'm channeling my inner memory right now and taking a nap.
Wait, are you?
I'm
you okay?
sorry.
You okay?
I'm tired.
All right.
So I'll make this real quick because I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
All of this death and destruction is making me want to just sleep. So Hardcore Alice, Macy Johnson. She's very young and very quiet. I've noticed that in the show, a lot of characters have a breathy tone to it, and Hardcore Alice is like the absolute worst offender of this. It fits well with the character. It's not my cup of tea personally. I'm not a big fan of like the breathy things, but it really worked for this. And this is going to be my new cosplay, so watch the fuck out. Who else were we talking about?
We're talking about
I literally took a nap while you were yelling.
You know what? There's something fascinating knowing my anger can give you sleep.
I mean, I have enough nightmares as it is. You might as well yell at me.
Okay, so Gigi, who's the biggest bitch in this show?
Oh, I fucking hate Swim.
There we go.
Oh, what a fucking bitch. This bitch. Oh, God, I fucking hate her. This character has zero redeeming qualities whatsoever. And the fact that Bryn April plays her would be like her single redeeming quality because Bryn April is like a genius. I hated this character more than I hated her crazy character in King's Game. That's how much I hate Swim. Fucking hate that bitch. That cutesy, soft, again, another breathy tone was so maddening to me. Like, and I know because Swim's supposed to be cute and you're really like not supposed to suspect her ever. And I think that's why, like, it just got under my skin and like Bryn did such a good job at it. Oh God, I hate Swim so much. Like, it made it like really real to me, and I just like, I think that these actresses do such a great job when I hate their characters so much. Like, that's how you can tell that they're doing what they're supposed to do and living their best lives, because oh my God, Swim is like the fucking worst. To quote Andrew, she's the actual worst. So, all right, that was fun. I'm gonna go back to sleep now. So just, you know,
we'll wake you up for the final two and final thoughts. Don't worry,
yeah, just like hit the key fob when it's time for me to wake up.
Don't worry, I'm going to yell more, so I hope it gives you sweeter dreams.
Oh, thank you. I love it when you yell at me.
Okay.
Tapioca.
Jamal, when you're editing, will you snip this and send it to Steph?
No!
Oh, the things that I've heard already today from her. Don't worry, we share everything.
That upsets me, but I'm not surprised.
Andrew Stewart is that gif of Yang Wen Lee getting smacked with the water. Can you just imagine?
Okay.
Because I can.
I needed this. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
All right.
Wholly inappropriate jokes. All right. No, I'm seriously going to go back to bed. So just like wake me up when I have to talk again.
Noted. Okay. I'm going last. Amon, the floor is yours.
All right. You know what Swimson's problem is? Don't give a fucking 7-year-old a smartphone. Like, the moment Swimson kind of, not clicked per se, but the moment her character made sense was when she's doing homework and ignoring Fob, and I realized she's doing the same fucking hiragana sheets that I did in my, like, Japanese class on the first day. Like, half of her problem just seems to be, like, I don't think she's old enough to, like, have that understanding of the moral repercussions of what she's doing, which is why she's so, like, sadistic. Like, this is literally a game to her. And she's just so awful. Especially, I mean, she's pretty bad, starting with Tama and going all the way down, and yeah. You don't think she's going to be that bad, but here we are. Bryn, however, is very good at playing that, I think. She gets a lot of that weird stiltedness that tends to mark Swim's behavior. I was actually thinking about this, and I part of me is wondering if they're maybe trying to suggest that, like, Swim might be a little autistic. And that's why she has this weird literalism about everything. Like everyone keeps talking to her like she's going to process it like a neurotypical person, and she's just not going to. And that's how you get all this mess.
I wasn't even thinking that, and
No, I was just reading it, and it was like he takes everything very literal, and it's like speaking as a person on the spectrum. It's like, no, that makes sense. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't.
Good
think
God,
that
no wonder.
helps.
Jesus Christ,
No,
no
it
wonder
doesn't.
she's fucked up. God.
Ooh.
This is a terrible combination of stuff to give to a kid like that. Oof.
Okay, let's. Ooh.
Anyways.
we are going down a rabbit hole here. Please,
Yeah, let's
take us back up.
Put the brakes on that. Bryn's very good at playing this character, though. I thought, like, Swim doesn't do a single nice thing across 12 episodes, but Bryn just captures that, like. There's something a little off-putting about Swim. Not quite off-putting, but just, like, odd about her. Like, you know, why is she hanging out with these people who are all kind of, like, very loud personalities, and she's, like, super muted and doesn't talk a lot and doesn't seem to express much emotion in any capacity. And, like, Bryn just captures this sort of, like, strangeness about her that then gets more and more, sort of not developed, at least more explicit as time goes on, and she, like, you know, plots to take out her boss, basically, and slowly takes over this gang, and then starts whittling the gang down when they stop being useful. And just on and on like that, and she just hits that very, very well. Like, she really added to Swimson's character in that regard, I thought. She did very well with this role, which I think could have very easily turned into something that could have just been really flat and boring. And I think she sidestepped that at every opportunity. I was really impressed with that. And now we're going to talk about my favorite character in this show. Because, like a lot of my favorite characters, she does two things really well. She's really, really cool, and she just breaks my fucking heart at every opportunity. This is a character who, like, aesthetically, like, this is exactly what I want in this show. She's got a weird gothic theme. Oh, she's immortal? And not like regular immortal, like you ground her to pace, put her in a can, fill it with cement, chuck it in the river. Like, nope, she's fine.
She's a
burst on out of that thing.
She's a stronger immortal than the immortals in Baccano.
She's the Wolverine of this series, basically. And then everything about her home life is just heartbreaking. This woman has nothing. She latches onto Snow White because Snow White found her keys for her. That's so sad.
At the very least, her aunt seems like a sweet lady. And...
I know, but in her mind, like, she's a burden. And her aunt being nice isn't going to make that any better. It's just, like, it's so... And then, like, you know, and then she gets to bleed to death in an alley. Feeling all of her friends have abandoned her. It's like, this is just...
mean.
Yeah, I know objectively, like, Top Speeds is probably the cruelest death in this series, but for me personally, I feel Harger Alice edges it out just a little bit, just because, like, she just wanted to do nice things for the lady who was good to her. That's all. Just Snow White was nice to her, and she wanted to be nice back.
Near the end, they really wanted to emphasize that child murder shit.
Yeah, no, yeah, especially that. Like, she, like, and I know she's, like, supposed to be a lot younger, but she looks really young anyways. It's really not, it's not fun.
Like, she is, like, she is elementary school age, and she gets offed as the elementary schooler, and even Swim, when she finally gets knocked the fuck out, the heroic Ripple does not stab Swim Swim, she stabs the 7-year-old body child.
Yeah. But on that note, part of the reason this hurts so much is that Macy-Ann is just she's really good in this role. She just gets that sense of like, just like, there's something just sort of like, even before you know her backstory, is just something kind of like sad about Hardcore Alice, and just there's something that feels kind of tragic about her. I think Macy-Ann Johnson just does such a wonderful. She's so good. She's just so wonderful about that. Like, I felt for this character, like, even before things started to go weird in the South for her. She felt like she seemed so nice and sincere. I think that's part of it. She always felt sincere. I never felt like she was trying to trick Snow White in some fashion. It was always just like, you're important to me and I want to help you. Which is why I'm going to give like 15 years of my life to get you this rabbit's foot.
I think it was only 6, but
I know,
even then, like, those don't fucking matter.
I know, but it's even like, it's not even that it's for me, it's for you. Take this rabbit's foot, because I want you to be safe. Because you're important to me.
And she wanted to be black because she's white and she thought that'd be cute. It's like,
I know, it's like, why are you making me feel these things, show? Again, why can't you just be garbage? Then I could just not care. But no, you have to make me feel things like a normal person. Ugh.
Why can't you just be garbage? Amon Duel 2018.
Yeah, I'll put that on the pull quote for the box. Yeah, no, like these I thought were both very good performances for characters I have radically different opinions on. Yeah. Jamal?
Yeah, let's get the salt out the way. Who the fuck gives a child a smartphone and lets them play a gacha game online with strangers? What the fuck is wrong with you?
This is the modern day and age, and a lot more kids.
My niece plays on my phone constantly.
Yeah,
she loves Snapchat, and she is 7.
My dad ran into a thing where he was trying to play what is it? Angry Birds with my 4-year-old nephew, and he accidentally clicked something. Then suddenly he spent $10. It's like, dude, that shit's dangerous.
Yeah, no, that happened to me. My dad and my stepmom like to let my half sister play with my stepmom's iPhone when she was young, and she once bought like a bunch of stuff expensively.
This is a like I said, this is a very dramatic, like, hypothesis of don't let people play gacha games, because when you let the kids play gacha games, they turn into psychopaths.
Andrew, you're making me want to actually read these light novels and see if they have some sort of weird Luddite attitude towards them. Which I don't want to do.
I'm curious now, because it feels more intentional than it should be on the second watch. Anyways, sorry, Jamal, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Kind of ironic, you said it feels more intentional with the light novels because Swim Swim was a bit more sadistic in the manga.
Oh boy.
Fuck you, she was worse?
And she wasn't deadpan, that's for damn sure. She was a little more worse. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to look at it again. Anyway, yeah.
Hey, Kristen, feel free to message us and tell us how much worse Swim gets in that. Because I know you probably bought those.
She probably did. Anyway, so yeah. Like Amon said, like, in the earlier episodes, Swimson was kind of assuming until she started murdering Ruler. And then it got even worse when you get to episode 9. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you. You murdered a pregnant woman, you motherfucker. At that point, I was like, fuck this bitch. Fuck this bitch. Die. Hope you ride hell. But goddamn, Britt does a very good job of this performance. Because it's an invert to the usual archetype. Because she emotes a deadpan boy attitude required to show Swim's admiration for Ruler. And her desire to become Ruler herself. Because remember, she just wants to be like Ruler. Like, be like a princess. But she doesn't want to be like a master or anything. No matter how hard Faf tries. But it's also displays her betrayal and ability to kill. Still got vindictive hate for this, you son of a... Moving on to the other side of the salt, Hardcore Alice. Because as Amon pointed out, like... Because Macy manages to display a distressing attitude the first episode. Because I don't know if he's realized it. She's the girl with the key problem in the first episode, Amon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that kind of caught me off guard because I didn't know, and I also found out the reason why that key was important to her, why Snow White was important to her, because in the manga light novel, after everything was said and done, she was gonna commit suicide. Yeah, so.
Oh, I'm sad all over again.
Well, death is never an easy thing, so. But in the later episodes, playing Hardcore Alice, she takes a raspy tone to her voice and manages to show off that possessive attitude when, she just wants to help the one who helped her out. Even if she has a hard time expressing, she has a very good job convincing me that Alice can be a bit creepy when she needs to be, but she's a little soft on the inside, to which, how the hell do you make Swim Swim sound creepier in episode 11? But that's just me. And I know Macy was sad that Alice died because, what did she say? She said, but at least she died in Snow White's arms, whereas Bryn said, that bitch got what she deserved. Not explicitly, but yeah, either that or intense therapy, but intense therapy's not gonna help her. Anyway, alright, let's get down right into it. Andrew?
First, let me start off with Hardcore Alice and Macy Ann Johnson. I think this is a very interesting role to give a fairly new actress, and I think there's some sort of dark, quiet sincerity to the character of Hardcore Alice. Like, she is basically just goth zombie, but everything she does is she's just kind of quiet and subdued and a little bit cold and empty in the way she portrays it, but she is sincere and she really does want to be friends with Snow White, and she wants to get to know her, and she does this really nice thing for her, and she really wants to get close to her, and it's why it's extra heartbreaking when you see the tragic life she lives and the way she gets done dirty. But I really did enjoy this character, and she was a very good little goth zombie child who deserved head pats and not to die thinking the last thing you see is the eyes of your father as you're getting stabbed. Fuck you, show! Anyways, but yeah, I really liked Macy Ann Johnson as Hardcore Alice. I think it's a pretty unique, voice, and I really do want to hear her more things. Okay.
Should I take off my headphones for this?
No, not yet anyway. Swim. Let me just get this out of the way. Bryn April is fantastic as Swim. She does this cold, dead inside, monotone, evil child thing with Swim, and it is very effective and works for the character. I don't care for Swim. I do not care for her one bit. I would even go far as to say I feel Swim exemplifies all of my biggest problems with Magical Girl Racing Project as a series. I think she is also not even that great of a villain. She is a terrible person. I don't even think she's that great of a villain because I don't get what her motivations are. Are her motivations just that, oh, I'm a child. I don't get how this works. I want to be like Ruler. And by being like Ruler, I'm going to kill her and literally everybody else. Why, though? Fucking why, though? In my mind, I almost felt like you could make something in regards to Nemarine. Because the whole thing with Nemarine is Nemarine actually talks to her in her dream about how she wants to be a princess and how she says that she could be a princess, or she's like her favorite magical girl or something like that, and her death is sort of what sets her off as wanting to basically go AWOL. But that's not really it. It's that I want to be like ruler. I want to be a princess. And by being a princess, she becomes an evil, sadistic mastermind who plays the dirtiest fucking scumbag tactics and is hardcore rewarded for being the biggest scumbag tactics. Why does everybody else get a fucking flashback explanation of their past, but she doesn't? She's just a child. She's just a child? And she goes for all the extra above and beyond edgelord, like, deaths and dirty scumbag tactics. And, like, I don't get it. Why does she kill Tama? Because she's like, oh no, you know my identity. She just, because I have to kill you now, even though you're my friend. But I also just going to kill everybody else. And then it's just like, when she finally fucking dies, the show throws it in your heart, in your fucking thing, where it's like, I don't even get the satisfactory of, like, seeing Swim get stabbed. I see the satisfaction of the fucking 8-year-old child getting stabbed by the hero! The hero! In this scenario. This is such a confusing, like, she feels like an exemplary of everything that bugs me about this show. She feels overly mean and fatalistic. And I think that's what this show is to me. Why it bugs me is that it's just so fatalistic and just doesn't matter. I don't like this character. She's so needless. She is so diabolically cruel in a way that doesn't even make sense. She is a child who is a fucking mastermind Lelouch Lamperouge, like, evil planner. Fucking how? Why is she doing this? How did she get in her mind that, oh, I'm gonna kill everybody. I'm going to fucking Keikaku your Keikaku with my fucking brilliant Keikaku. Okay, I need a breath.
You okay, dude?
I think so. It's not that she is just an evil character. It's not that she is just a character that makes me mad. She's also a character that, in my mind, doesn't even really make sense. And of all these sort of last-minute, like, death flag flashbacks, or I have 6 months to live, or you don't give me anything? She's just a child. And she's just an evil child? Was she always evil? What turned her evil? Why is she evil? Why is this the one thing you're choosing not to elaborate? I don't like Swim. I don't care for Swim. I think Bryn April does a stellar job playing the part of Swim for what is asked of the character of Swim. Whew. I don't really have much else to say. I just feel like Swim is almost like the single physical embodiment to me of everything that bothers me about this show. And I think that's why it's a little more, that might be a little more personal of why I dislike this character outside of the objectiveness of this. I think it's just, she is just an easy staple of everything she does, everything she chooses to do, everything the story does with her feels like an exemplification of what I don't like about this show. I'm done. Thank you very much for giving me the floor to be very irrationally angry about this for a second. I think I'm done.
Well, we still got 2 characters left, you know.
I don't have nearly as much to scream about with Snow White or Whipple. Don't worry, we're good.
Yeah, we like these 2, I think.
Alright, so let's get right down into our last pair then, because I think we're good to move on. We, of course, have our pretty much the leads of the show. We have Ripple, and we have Snow White. Now, Ripple is a high school student living alone, a social person who turns to Magical Girl Racing Project as a means to an end, I guess. In her Magical Girl outfit, she wears a ninja style attire, and her ability is to throw shuriken straight at her targets. And she does not miss her target ever. But after the battle left her scarred and injured and dead at one point, she grew to be protective of Snow White. To which Snow White, she's a well-known magical girl, very caring of others. Her ability is to hear the voices of other people. She's always dreamed of becoming a magical girl. But after she survived the elimination game, she vowed to change her ways. Her ideology was shattered, and she became a little bit cynical of everything now. To the point she kind of takes on problems herself around the globe. So, getting right into it, Ripple is voiced by Sarah Wiedenheft, and Snow White is voiced by Megan Shipman. Sarah Wiedenheft, you've heard in other roles such as Sada from Alice in Soroku, Akasube, aka Tail Blue from Gonna Be the Twin Tail, and Azusa Murasaka from Orange. Megan Shipman, you've heard in other roles such as Sakura Mizukami from D-Frag, Steeler from Hells, Hanamaru Kunikida from Love Life Sunshine, and of course, Alba Suzukaze from New Game. So, best way to kick things off, Gigi. Wake up, Gigi!
I'm up.
Okay,
Sorry.
It's all
it's all
good.
good. We're almost there,
Thank fucking God. All right.
You're welcome.
Are we going to talk about Sarah Weed?
We're talking about Sarah Wiedenheft and Megan Shipman.
Why is Ripple like this serendipity? Fuck me. Why is Ripple like this stereotypical tsundere, like almost like to a fault?
They even like joke about like, oh,
They
you got
do
the
like
tsundere
the
thing.
noise. They do the noise that, and I was like, holy shit, Sarah Weed. So I really only know her other than her role in Orange, which I didn't care for, as Teresa in Tada Never Falls in Love, which is such a fucking harsh contrast from this.
More on that
God,
later.
I know Teresa
Yeah.
is so fucking pure and true, but I think this role like really showed her range for me because I really liked her here and I had no idea that it was her. So, like, this was just such a stereotypical tsundere, like, so badly, the character, and I think she made it work in her voice. Did we finally get to Snow White? Are we finally at the fucking end?
Yes.
Yes.
So we still
Oh,
have final thoughts.
Oh, thank fucking Christ. Megan Shipman, she is really locked into the cutesy stuff lately. And I just saw her at a convention and she was talking about how she wanted to like play older characters with like a little bit lower tone and stuff. But man, Funimation right now has got her on lock for these cutesy characters. But I really felt her dramatic side here, which was very nice. You know, I loved her in Citrus, and I really liked her in this too. I think the character itself of Snow White is kind of one note, and she reminds me so much of Madoka from Madoka Magica. She is basically Madoka, except at the end, I don't want to spoil Madoka Magica. If you haven't seen it yet, where have you been? But at the end of this, Snow White kind of has like this crazy ass turning point where she finally grows some balls and smashes Fav into a zillion pieces. But I really felt like in her voice, you felt the conviction that she had to just basically take on this world and kind of destroy it, which is kind of exactly what happened in Madoka Magica. She did try to save what she could, though, which at this point was just Ripple. But you could really hear like the heart of the show in Megan's performance. Like, I thought that was really nice, and it was really sweet. You know, even though Snow White gets shit on by like everyone, and she has like panic attacks about everybody dying and how nobody's a good magical girl. God damn it. Do your magical fucking jobs and stop killing each other.
Literally just help kitties above the trees and like help old ladies cross the stream. Stop trying to murder.
Like, give that bitch her fucking keys. So like, but these performances were really good, and like, but I really liked her range here, and oh god, this is going on so long. I'm about to get my death game on with all of y'all if you don't hurry up.
Wait, I'm honestly, the most I had to say was swim. Everything else should go a lot quicker for me.
All right,
Okay.
don't make me get out my rapid swallow.
Honestly, okay.
Don't even make that joke.
don't-
Don't even make that joke.
Andrew,
I'm not.
if you make-
I'll put it in text later, though. Anyways, Ripple and Snow White are technically the main characters of this show, despite the fact that neither of them actually really interact with each other until episode 11. Like, they
Yeah.
have that one moment where they meet, and they never hang out again until episode 11. And that's kind of weird, considering they're, like, the two main characters, I guess? Is that they never meet until, like, the second to last episode. That's weird to me. Anyways, starting with Ripple. I really like Sarah Wiedenheft's, like, much more, like, subdued, like, tsundere, trying to take on the world, but is actually a good girl at heart kind of thing. I really adored her dynamic of playing off of Lindsay Seidel and Top Speed. I think it's a really cool team-up dynamic, and they really bring out the best of each other. I very much enjoyed just the tone of voice and the amount of energy and emotion she gives near the end, and the cool fights she's capable of doing. And I just love the sound she makes every time. It's stereotypical tsundere, but it's great. Man, they really throw on her fucking heavy backstory. Is that, oh hey, her mom can't sustain a relationship, and she keeps getting guys, and the latest guy is a fucking pedophile. Good pick. Good pick of the litter.
Oh, that's what I forgot happened about her.
I forgot about that too, and I'm like, oh, God, show why. And that's why she lives by herself. And that's why she has trouble opening up to people until she meets Top Speed and until she dies, and then she's like, I'm gonna get revenge. Also, dumb question. She loses her eye and her arm. Does that carry over to her human form, or is that just her magical girl?
Actually, no, it did not.
Okay, because that was like, I was curious about that. It's like, so does she just now have a fucking eye patch and like cast on her arm? What's the deal with that? Okay, I'm glad I know that. Anyways, Snow White, Megan Shipman is adorable, and it's always good to hear her in things. And I very much enjoyed her take on Alba, even though this is a lot less of her being cutesy and a lot more of her being sad. Though I do actually enjoy when she gets pissed near the end. It's like a nice, ooh, you're gonna kick it ass. I really like that tone of voice of her. And I very much enjoyed Megan Shipman as this character. I don't find these characters particularly that interesting, which is how you know they're the main characters in a death game and how they live.
Isn't that sad? It's so true, though.
It's so true.
Like, the ones you don't give a fuck about are always the ones that are going to make it to the end.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's always how it works. Like, hey...
Rip Juzo. Rip.
Okay, let's not go into Danganronpa spoilers here, Gigi. Right.
Juzo.
Okay. I can't even joke and say he did no wrong. He did quite a lot wrong. Moving on. Amon.
Juzo was a good boy. Fuck off.
Amon, the floor is yours.
These are a fine pair of performances. Hold on. Where are my notes? There are my notes. Sarah's a lot of fun as Ripple. I like a lot of Ripple's sort of, even if she's kind of very generic tsundere-ness, she's got, I liked her interactions, especially with Top Speed a lot. They were a really fun pair. And I thought that, she and Lindsay just played off each other really, really well. They were so fun together. And even though it ended badly, like, their fight against Calamity Mary was what, like, I'll get this in the end, but, like, the fights in the show are great. That fight with them against Calamity Mary is one of the best. That was such a cool chunk. And she was just fun in a lot of ways, and she got to fucking stab Fob, which goddamn, did she do it or did Snow White do it?
Ripple does it technically.
Ripple does it. Yeah, no, she got to fucking stab Fob, so fuck yeah to her for that. Little bastard. Yeah, no, she was fun in a lot of ways, and Megan plays just the sweetest little cinnamon roll. Like Snow White, she is such a sweetheart. She's so nice. She honestly just wants to help people. no strings attached, no, not for the glory, nothing that, just like, I'm gonna help people. And she's so sweet and never gets like saccharine, or it never gets too much. It's always just played just right. And I also really liked it when she gets like angry. Like I kind of want there to be an OVA, which is just her like post-season just like going out being a magical girl in defiance of the magical world, and they'll be like, hey, stop that, and she's like, fuck you, no, I'm gonna help people. Where were you when all this was happening?
She just does the fucking up your side while wearing the cool biker girl coat. It's like,
yeah, exactly. It'd be great. Like she got to get some range in there, and I just liked her. I liked her perseverance, but I also like that like the show never broke her. Like she still seems like the same sweet person, even if she's a little more like kind of worldly and jaded, maybe. Like for all the show's flaws, I do appreciate that at least in that capacity, they felt like no, we don't need to like shatter this character completely. They can stay relatively the same. So I'll give it gets a cookie crumb, not a whole cookie, just a crumb. Good job, baby. Anyways, Jamal.
So yeah, going right into it, Sarah's Ripple. Sarah was pretty much one I least expected, because you don't really hear Sarah in lots of Tsundere roles. Yandere, maybe. Moe, maybe. But somewhere in between, it actually felt kind of nice. Like, it was a little something out of Element. She manages to sound very mature for the character, like, provided that attitude Ripple has. Though she turns from Tsundere to Yandere later on because, she lost pretty much the only person to ever really understand her. And, all hope is lost at that point. She won't stop until her goal has been achieved. But once it does, it's like, she decides to put an end to this by just stabbing Fav's phone with the halberd. Sarah manages to... It's hard to put in words, but long story short, Sarah does a very good job in this role. And like you said, I want to see an OVA of her as well. Megan Shipman is Snow White. Megan Shipman has that... Hold on, what's my note say? Megan provides a childlike nature and innocence in her voice, with a sense of vulnerability later on. But she never manages to break pitch, because you always hear that one pitch, you're going to expect some kind of emotion coming out of her. It really kind of hits you hard if you think about it, but... And I know both these ladies Magical Girl fans. I know they're both Sailor Moon fans, so I know they appreciate being in a show like this, where, although it's much tougher here, I do commend them on their effort. Like, and speaking of commending on their efforts, let's go into final thoughts. So, Gigi, would you like to start? We're almost there. We're almost there. At the very end. I can see the light right now.
The deadlights.
I walked right into that.
We all float down here. We all float down here, Jamal. We all float down here.
Even half
Points.
asleep, Gigi's got a good one set up for us.
Oh, God. You'll have to excuse me. I've been up since 2:30 yesterday morning.
Gigi,
wow.
You are a very good girl for sticking with us this long and this late to talk about a show that doesn't even really have any boys save for Sato. So
and that's okay that it doesn't have any boys, because like I said, like, dark magical girl shows are my jam. In fact, I've pretty much watched, or at least started, all of them that have been produced since Monica Magica, which I was going to get around to this one eventually. And I was like, yeah, let me do this because I'm really kind of interested. And I tapped out of watching Magical Girl Sight, which if you think this is fucking edgelord, oh my God.
I know of the first episode. That's just, see, this is like edgy, but you care about its characters and it's sad. That's like, I don't know who these characters are, and this is like the most sad person that has ever existed. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so like I will watch all of these, and I will also watch everything where everyone gets killed. So, I mean, what does that say about my life? So I watch all of this stuff. And I was very happy because this was actually one of the shows where I gave a shit about the characters. I mean, and other than Danganronpa 2, 3, Future,
Yeah,
Danganronpa
3.
Future. I hadn't cared about people since Danganronpa Future, which whenever I watched that, I think it was last year, was like my favorite anime of the year. So that being said, like I was ready. I was ready for this. What I wasn't ready for and what I was actually really surprised by was that this dub was so good. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was really like gonna go into it and just be like, whatever. It's gonna be a show with a bunch of girls and no boys, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, this is another show where everybody gets offed. But it's like, it's different. The ensemble here is just so good and so well put together that it's hard for me to dislike any performances. Easy for me to dislike characters because the performances are so good. And just like the whole ambiance of this show, I went in knowing that it was going to fuck me up. So it wasn't like, oh my God, the magical girls are so great. And then you hit Madoka episode 3 and you're like, I hate my life. What is going on in this universe? Where is my head? And why did I just get eaten? So like I was expecting a lot of that. And I didn't get as much, like I didn't get as weepy as I do when I watch Madoka Magica, which is one of like my favorite anime of all time. And I will sob like a baby through the last episode every time without fail, and like parts of the other ones. I didn't cry at this. I just got angry. Like I just got so passionate about it, and the performances like really amped that up for me. Like I friggin' love Winter Prison's aesthetic, but if Morgan Berry hadn't voiced her, I wouldn't have gotten so fucking mad when she died. So like it just, everything about this dub kind of came together in a nice little package. And I really wish that they would do the nice magical girl spinoff. That will never happen. But apparently I thought season 2 was happening in my dreams. So maybe I'll just go back there and channel my Nemarine again. Because that was nice, guys. My little mid-podcast nap.
I'm glad
you thought I was
it.
kidding. But it was I, Gigi.
I'm glad you enjoyed your little nap. Okay. Final thoughts. First things first. I will say that the English dub of the show, spectacular. I can tell that there's a lot of care and passion on firing on all cylinders, from the performances to the direction given, especially to the script. Everything. This is not a project that it was just sort of like, this is not a paycheck project. This is a passion project, and I respect the hell out of that. I think everybody sounds fantastic. Everybody sounds entertained. Everybody sounds believable. It made me feel things. Like, I had seen this show before, so I knew some of these were coming, and I still felt that, like, tinge of in my heart when I saw Top Speed, like, fall over like that again. Because I've been so endeared to, like, her fucking quirky English attitude, and it's just... This is a fantastic English dub, and it is absolutely well put together and worth your time if you're going to watch this. As for the show, I will say this about the show. This show made me grateful for one thing. It made me realize exactly what it is I like about Danganronpa. Danganronpa is not just a death game anime. It is also literally about those who believe in hope or a better future or a better tomorrow. While they are challenged, they persevere in the end. Their platitudes and their ideas can still come out on top. It is not just about giving up or giving in to the nihilist, fatalist idea and reality. It is about overcoming that and, like, working with those who you do align with, you do trust, and you do find yourself turning to and overcoming that. Like, the death game is an aspect of drama and, like, hurting when, like, characters you like die, but it's not the sole appeal to me. It's the story, it's the overcoming adversity, it is the court cases and the drama of these court cases. Magical Girl Racing Project, not only is it saying that these ideas are flawed, in the case of like a character like Sister Nana, they are seen as stupid and idiotic to me. Like, trusting others is dumb. Cheating, backstabbing, and underhanded tactics, and just death and fatalism. That's the name of the game here. And I think what bugs me is like sort of what we've sort of discovered. This show is good enough that I do find myself attached to these characters. That I do find myself actually enjoying a lot of these character arcs. That I do find myself attached to some of these relationships. That for the show to kind of go the extra mile of like, not only are they dead, they died knowing that everything they knew and loved was worthless. They died knowing that they would die alone and forever. They died knowing that they would never give birth to a new life. That shit bugs me, is that it goes the extra mile to be like nasty and cruel. Magical Girl Raising Project is not a bad show. It is not a show that I would consider or outright say, this is bad, this is terrible, this is awful, don't watch it. It is a good show with good characters and things I do enjoy and actively like, but it is not a show that I enjoy. It is a show I grew attached in, but it is not a show I enjoy watching per se. And I have legitimate flaws and things that bug me, but I do say the people who worked on this show, as far as the English dub is concerned, were very passionate, very committed, and it shows in the final product, and it actually made me give a shit about the show all over again when I convinced myself I didn't. So you know what? Bravo.
That was very moving, Andrew.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Passion's important. Let me see. I'm sort of in the same boat. Like, this isn't really a show. This is a show that's very frustrating because I can't really like recommend it wholeheartedly 100%. But I can't condemn it either. It's too much of a mixed bag where like the good and bad stuff aren't like nicely separated. They're kind of glopped together, and they don't really finesse out. Like as we mentioned before, there's a lot of here that's upsetting. It goes for a lot of shock value and doesn't really like earn that shock value ahead of time to make it like work. It just sort of comes off as a little nihilistic and pointless. But there's still also a lot of good in it that I feel like I don't really want to like just dismiss out of hand. As we mentioned, this is a very good dub. It is really well done on all accounts. You'll feel for these characters. It will make all this so much more worse in the process. A lot of the character designs are really, really good. A lot of these characters have really interesting powers. The fight choreography is amazing. Like, this has legitimately...
Oh, yeah.
Like, the fight... Like, I feel like I'm going to make a highlight reel of, like, what are the good parts of this. I just string a bunch of the fights together and, like, this is good stuff. Like, these are well-done fights. Especially the highlight probably being that one between Ripple High Speed and Calamity Mary. That was really well done. I really liked that part a lot.
Oh yeah, that was legitimately like action-packed and kind of cool.
No, that was super dope. Like, props all around. That was amazing. So yeah, it poses this weird thing where like I don't feel like I can quite recommend it, but if you know what it's about and you feel like you can kind of stomach what's going to happen going into it, I would recommend checking out this dub because it is legitimately really well done. And I think everyone involved in this does deserve like high praise for putting out such a good stuff, especially like given that it is attached to such upsetting subject material. I'm proud of you guys. Like, this is really great. Like, thumbs up, seriously. Amazing stuff.
Alright then. So, pretty much going into this, when I first heard about this show, I didn't really watch much of it because back then I wasn't a subscriber to Crunchyroll, so I didn't bother to care. And I heard my friends Andrew and Jet talk about it. I'm like, okay, I like magical girls. What's wrong with me? Why haven't I watched this show? And then I decided to stop picking up when I heard it got a dub, and I watched 2 episodes in Japanese. And I was like, actually, no, from the first episode, I was like, holy shit, man. And I really wanted to watch more, but when I started to watch it in the dub, I was like, You know, I really want more of this. Like this is something that's my jam, and cause y'all know me, I love magical girls. So when I started watching this show, I was impressed. I mean, I knew what was gonna happen. I just didn't know what was gonna happen. So as we get further along, I really start to notice a lot of Lyric's touches, like the fight choreography Amon mentioned. Those were some of the best, along with some of the sound design that went for it too. Because if it wasn't for the sound, like it probably would have came off a little more awkward. But I like everything about Magical Girl Racing Project. Yes, it's not really the best, especially when you read the source material. Because trust me, I had to read to find out for one character. Does not explain anything, but I really want to know more, and I don't think they're gonna make more. If they do, please somebody tell me, because I feel like I'm missing something from the show. As for the dub itself, the dub is a passion project for everybody involved, and I give y'all kudos for that. Like, I ain't saying something, but make sure y'all take it easy, because I know this must have been mentally taxing for everybody involved, emotionally taxing. It's hard being an actor, but goddamn, we have to act in something like this. It's just, I mean, from the script writing to the direction, I applaud everyone on their efforts. I don't know why they chose to do a SimulDub of this. I mean, they could just done the whole thing ahead of time and be done with that, but I'm glad they chose to do a SimulDub for this, because it made it easier to digest week to week. And if you want to watch the dub for yourself, as of November 2018, the show can be found on Crunchyroll, both dub and sub. You can watch with or without a subscription. Just know without a subscription there'll be ads. If you want to see the source material for yourself, there are only 2 volumes of the manga and 5 volumes of the light novel wherever you purchase your manga. Online or from Right Stuff, whatever. I just hope they give this a good home video release, because of all the Jade Saxon dubs I've seen, I've yet to own one on Blu-ray. And I really hope they treat this very nice. Like,
They won't. It's Crunchyroll.
Fuck you, Mouse.
Sorry. I mean, I own so many, and just the releases that they have for the shows that are in the same vein that are Crunchyroll co-productions are just not good.
You say that, but a place further than the universe exists, and so does Laid Back Camp. Just saying.
Where?
Oh wait, were you talking about home video?
Yes, yeah. I'm hoping this gets a good home video release, but you never know. In any case, I mean, that's something I want to see, but if you're interested in seeing any of us, the crazy shit we get up to, go ahead and plug yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Gigi. I have a YouTube channel called Anime Palooza, where I talk about Urano Prince Sama, and I unbox all of the anime that everyone puts out, so I know about my releases. And you can follow me on Twitter at Anime Palooza. I also have a Twitch channel at Anime Palooza. And if you'd like to hear more ramblings about shoujo anime and all the trash that money can buy, you can listen to my other podcast called The Shoujo Trash Showdown, which you can find on my YouTube.
Okay, as for me, my name is Andrew. I'm also Classy Spartan, or you can find me on Twitter at MangaMan9000. I am a moderator over on the Funimation forums and Discord, as well as doing another podcast on Surreal Resolution called Podcast O&A, alongside fellow Dub Talk cohort Jet.
You can find me at Amon Duel US on Twitter. Duel has 2 U's in it. I talk about anime and movies and comic books and music and things like that. And if you ask me questions, I will probably answer them, because no one talks to me on Twitter. It's very sad.
Well, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What would be a good dusty old song to recommend with the theme of cute girls and murder?
I don't... Oh, no, I have one for you, buddy. So I was thinking about this ahead of time, and I remembered, I was trying to think, what's like cute on the outside but actually kind of grisly. But then I remembered, in the 50s and 60s, there was this weird trend where teen pop acts would sing songs about, like, their significant other dying. and how sad they are that they've like died in a motorcycle accident or something like that. This was just a trend for a few years. I don't know why. There are more famous examples of this, like Leader of the Pack by the Shangri-Las, but I'm going to give you the weirdest one because this is a weird show. You should all check out the song The Water Was Red by Johnny Symbol, which is spelt like the metal thing that's part of a drum kit, which is about a man getting revenge on the shark that ate his girlfriend. This came out like
bless.
1961, people.
Hashtag blessed.
That actually sounds pretty dope, not gonna lie.
Wait a minute. Did you say shark?
Yes, a shark. They go first verse, they go to the beach. Second verse, the girl gets eaten by a shark. Third verse, the boy takes a knife and goes and murders the shark in the water.
Baby shark, do 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 do.
God
Baby
damn
shark,
it.
do
God
do
damn
do do
it.
do. I was waiting for 3 hours to do that.
God damn it, Gigi.
Oh, we have fun here.
Alright.
Alright, so as for me, I'm an assistant editor for this channel. I can be found on my other channel, Jamstar1. I can also be found on Twitter, Jamstar529. I've got a blog that's covered in dust. I do plan on getting into solo podcasting sometime next year. And the fact that I'm announcing this, you can probably guess what it's going to be about. As for the podcast itself, it can be found here on YouTube under the name dubtalkpodcast. We can also be found on Tumblr, Instagram, Twitter, and now Twitch by the same name. We also have a Ko-Fi if you want to give a little something. So, any final words before we sign off?
I got very angry today, and I want you to know that none of it is personal. I just get very intense about media, and this is a show I get intense about, but I think it also makes me realize I cared about it a lot more than I think I remembered. So, that being said, this was a great dub, and I really had a lot of fun covering it, and I'm sort of now grateful I got pushed into doing it by Kristen. Thank you, Kristen, for making me do this. This was a fun one to do. Interesting discussion, too.
Shit, I wanted to do this come hell or high water.
I figured it was going to happen eventually. I just figured, let's do it now.
Yeah, so from all of us here at Dub Talk, we wish you a good night. And Otaku on.
Top Speed did nothing wrong!
Love your faces. Boom.
Keep it magical.
Palm.
Night, nerds.
Oh, that was cute.